Pirates God level sign in system chapter 141 to 160. Chapter 141 Luffy appears ____________. The third. That guy, where did he go? Wiper and others also asked in unison. Enel was beaten. For them, it was a hard thing to believe. I don't know, but I will try my best to follow. Shu King looked at Chopper and said, the wounded here are handed over to you, Chopper. Okay. Chopper nodded, and immediately began to use his medical skills to rescue the injured comrades. Wait, I want to go with you. At this time, Wiper from Shandian also stopped Shu King. In order to regain his lost home, Wiper naturally wanted to fight hard. However, Shu King shook his head and said, you are not his opponent, you must be thinking of using the platoon to kill him, right? It's true to think so, but that thing doesn't work for him, and the people of Logia will be immune to external attacks. The only way to hit them is to use the Seastone weapon or learn the armament hockey. Quote. In other words, even if you pass by now, you will die. Shu King persuaded Wiper for a long time, but Wiper was still very stubborn to go. Well, since you have to follow, you can follow. Shu King didn't stop Wiper anymore, but Shu King's speed was too fast. Even if Wiper tried his best, he couldn't keep up. At this time, Enel has come to the side of his own ship, Arc Proverbs. However, at this time, Luffy and Aisha finally came out of the python's mouth. However, Shu King had also come to Enel at this time. Enel was seriously injured now. He looked at Shu King and scolded, bastard. Do you still want to stop me? Shu King the Isho said, no, you want to go to the infinite land, you can go by yourself, but before that, I want to beat you to a paralysis, or you will destroy Angel Island. Besides, we still need some going. Going. That kind of shining thing, only gods deserve to have. Enel was obviously dying, but he was still so obsessed with the group of goings. If that's the case, then I'll kill you. Shu King directly opened the three-goose jade writing wheel eye, locked Enel, and a teleport appeared in front of Enel. Immediately afterwards, Shu King's hand had already condensed a large jade spiral pill. Spiral pills, Shu King shouted, very imposing. 100 million volts discharge. Enel didn't just get beaten, he also used the discharge in time. He wanted to use this trick to kill Shu King in front of him, but Shu King in front of him suddenly banged and turned into a piece of wood. Behind. Enel's reaction was not at all dissatisfied, because he was Raiden himself, so he immediately used Logia's unique ability. However, it was still a step behind Shu King. At this time, Shu King's body disappeared again, and in that instant, he had come to the top of Enel's head. Shu King had already condensed a super large jade spiral pill, and just like that, Shu King slapped the super large jade spiral pill down. What? Enel didn't expect Shu King's speed to be so fast. On the one hand, Shu King used the ninja's telekinesis technique, and on the other hand, he used the power of his devil fruit to greatly increase the speed. Although he couldn't move at the speed of light, Shu King's speed was no longer inferior to lightning. Bang! Shu King's oversized jade spiral pill slapped on Enel's body, and Enel also used the power of lightning to block. Commonly known as counter waves. Shu King knew that Enel was not easy to deal with, so he directly used the power of the devil fruit and directly opened it up, and the super large jade spiral pill itself became a little different. This move, even Enel spewed blood and fell to the side, lingering on. How is it? God. Enel, I haven't been serious, I haven't used 100% of my strength. At this time, Shu King was very nervous, and when dealing with Enel, Shu King had a very relaxed feeling. On the one hand, Shu King's strength has made great progress because of the opening of the kaleidoscope. On the other hand, Shu King just severely injured Enel, and now Enel can't use his strongest strength at all. Lay metallurgy. At this time, Enel stood up and turned his going stick into a going spear. Immediately afterwards, Enel took a breath and started a melee fight with Shu King. Shu King, who is a 3-hook jade writing wheel eye, plus demon possession, plus Shira, is simply a good player in melee combat. Now that Enel is desperately fighting melee, Shu King is naturally very happy. The pair started a close-range battle again. Do you want to use electric heat to attack me? While fighting, Shu King also roughly understood Enel's intentions. But how can it be so easy? Shu King's writing wheel eyes stared left and right, and he had completely seen through Enel's intentions. Enel's heart net can only predict the very short future, while Shu King can predict the opponent's attack trajectory more accurately, so all of Enel's attacks cannot touch Shu King at all. What the hell are you? Demon, Logia, Paramesha, Zone, Enel asked before wiping the blood from the corners of his mouth. Me, it can be said to belong to these 3 kinds at the same time. No one can define my fruit, because there is no such fruit in this world. I come from other worlds. I don't know if you can understand that. Shu King asked. Huh, you're from another land. A foreigner. Although Enel didn't quite know where Shu King came from, he still gave a few possible locations. Almost. Shu King did not deny it. That's why I have such strength. In that case, why stop me from destroying Angel Island? You shouldn't have anything to do with them, right? Enel asked. And your so-called companions. Their lives and deaths have nothing to do with you, right? Enel was obviously a little unclear about the concept of companions. Shu King said, do you know why you exist? Because you are a supporting role, and supporting roles are all to highlight the protagonist. In this world and the entire plane, you are just a character who has little influence on the story. To put it bluntly, you are but a small part of the story, and your arrogance as a god is nothing but your sorrow. A person as sad as you naturally doesn't understand what is a companion. What is friendship? What is a bond? Because those things are useless to you, but for me, it is because I went to these companions I got stronger by doing what my buddies were supposed to do where I was going. Quote. So, what I am doing now is just what I should do as a partner. Shu King's words were very exciting, but after these words were finished, a voice came out. Shu King, you're so good. I can't forgive this guy, he hurt the strange uncle and his companions. So I'm going to shoot him. Enel. Luffy who spoke, and at this time Luffy had already appeared in front of Shu King and Enel. Chapter 142 _ The Arc Proverbs appears. First change. Luffy, why are you here? After seeing Luffy, Shu King's heart tightened. The victory was already in full control, but at this time, Luffy's sudden appearance made Shu King a little at a loss as to what to do. Are you a blue sea person again? Look at your skills just now, are you also a power person? Are you from Paramesha? At this time, Enel was not so nervous after seeing Luffy. Humph. You, the guy with long ears, actually hurt Uncle Strange. And also hurt our companions. Now let me beat you up. Luffy said angrily, looking at Enel in front of him. Ha, Shu King, if every blue sea person is as good as you, it might be easy to defeat me, but the fact is, this guy is a complete scumbag. Ha 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 ha, are you blue sea people always so confident? Enel released lightning for no reason at this time. Closer look, it turns out that Enel is using electrotherapy to heal himself. Enel can not only use self-electrotherapy for first aid, but also use electroshock therapy to temporarily paralyze himself and temporarily ignore his injuries. This time Enel was obviously tortured by Shu King as well. Not light. Luffy, don't worry, let me tell you about his information first. Shu King wanted to report his information to Luffy, but Luffy, a person with a very strange brain circuit, naturally rushed directly to Enel. And Enel did not show weakness, and directly greeted the past. At the beginning, Enel encountered the same thing that made him speechless, that is, there is a thing called rubber in Blue Sea, and the boy with the straw hat in front of him is obviously a rubber fruit person. Therefore, when Enel wanted to kill Luffy in seconds, he found that Luffy really couldn't conduct electricity. Enel then switched to a new combat mode, and he began to seriously use the heart net, which is the ability of observation haki. The face of Luffy various attacks, Enel is also able to deal with it very easily. Luffy's reaction ability is relatively slow. In the face of Enel, who can guess the opponent at every step, he is also directly at an absolute disadvantage. According to the plot settings, generally speaking, when the protagonist encounters a boss, he must be defeated at the beginning, and he must experience some things before the protagonist can grow. The same is true of Luffy. At this time he was smashed to the bottom of the boat by Enel like the original. I don't have time to take care of you now. 200 million volts. Thor. At this time, Enel walked back to the Ark and used himself as a generator to start a large amount of energy supply. This ship, called the Ark Proverbs, is somewhat similar to a spaceship. After Enel's power generation, it has also undergone considerable changes at this time. The very complex power drive system of the whole ship began to operate, and within a short while, the Ark Proverbs really flew in the air like this. Look, the Ark that has floated up, guiding me to the infinite land, Proverbs. Enel said with some fanaticism. After speaking, the entire Ark Proverbs had completely floated. Shu King is not surprised. After all, these are all the efforts of the God team, and Enel just used some equipment on the ship and the power of Guro Guro no Mi, Rumble Rumble Fruit, to create the Ark motto, which can float. It's not surprising to get up. It seems that you have given up struggling. Are you willing to go to infinity with me? At this time, Enel found that Shu King didn't speak much, so he naturally thought that Shu King obeyed. Shu King shook his head and said, I probably already understand your strength. My companion is not that weak. From the current point of view, there is still a considerable chance of defeating you. Who are you talking about? Is it the Straw Hat Boy just now? It's ridiculous. He's already like that. How can he stop me? Enel was still so arrogant and paranoid. At this time he still insisted on believing in his own strength as invincible. I'm the future One Piece King of Pirates. Luffy shouted, not so easily discouraged. What? Enel was surprised at first, then thought about it and found that it was normal. He didn't attack Luffy with great strength just now. Even if this guy is not afraid of thunder and lightning, he will definitely be afraid of being attacked by the electric heat after my thunder metallurgy. Enel said very proudly. Then you can give it a try. In any case, if you want to destroy Sky Island, you need me to guard it until then. Now, let me show some kindness and let Luffy spend some time with you, in a word. With me here, you can't destroy Angel Island. Shu King's words were not very convincing, but there was a convincing feeling. HMPH, don't you think this is amazing? Enel started to brag again. The circuit of the ultimate function of this arc suddenly opened and started to operate. It is called Proverbs, the rescuer of the desperate world. Come on, Proverbs, activate. After Enel finished speaking, Proverbs suddenly appeared in a huge amount. Black cloud. This black cloud overwhelmed the city, not only shrouding Sandora, but also covering the entire EPUB. And this gloomy black cloud is an ominous omen for both the Shandians and the residents of Sky Island. That's right. These things are thunderclouds. Proverbs will emit thunderclouds with super strong air currents. Soon, the games will increase their energy and shroud the entire Sky Island in darkness. They will follow my signal. Turned into dozens of lightning bolts and wiped out the country. Enel said. At this moment, Enel pointed his finger at the sky, and there was a thunderstorm in the sky. The lightning struck a landmark building on Angel Island in an instant. The whole Angel Island was still skeptical about Enel's actions, but now it is really certain. The end of the world is coming. Can God take everything? Luffy asked Enel before him. Of course. Whether it is life or the earth, well, please disappear. The preparations for the banquet have already begun. Reminder, Shu King, you said that you must not interfere in the battle between us, and don't lie to God. Enel smiled and didn't say anything more. Shu King didn't stop Enel, both of them felt that the other was a big fool in their hearts. Shu King, this guy must be handed over to me to fly. At this time, Luffy was also full of faith. Luffy and Enel immediately started a big fight, using the high electric heat spear, Enel pressed Luffy to fight. No matter how powerful Luffy is, at this time he is not a match for Enel at all, because Enel is a master of heart and network, and at the same time a person with the ability of Logia. Now it seems that Enel's IQ still surpasses many enemies. It's abominable. That move that can see through the action, isn't there any way to avoid it? Luffy also asked. Chapter 143 Shu King saves Luffy, please collect it. Ask. The second. Right. Rubber days. Now Luffy doesn't know what to do. His whole person has become a state of dementia, and Shu King looks at it. The more he looks, the more he wants to laugh. Using reflex nerves to avoid attacks unconsciously. It's like grass swaying with the wind without resisting the direction of the wind. Because he didn't think about anything, so Enel couldn't read his inner thoughts. Shu King also thought of the most and apt way to call Luffy's state. Because I'm just in a daze, so I can't attack. Luffy also felt a little big, and at this time he wanted to know how Shu King attacked the Enel in front of him. If he catches him, he won't hold him back. Luffy watched Enel as he made a decision. Rubber octopus. At this time, Luffy suddenly made his head very huge, and immediately, Luffy's hands and feet turned into very long octopus-like tentacles. Enel on the opposite side obviously saw Luffy's predicament, so he said, "You don't seem to like Shinwang very much, of course, and this is also a testament to my overwhelming strength. No matter what you do, you're just a piece of shit that's not afraid of thunder," Enel said while running towards Luffy. "It's okay over there, rubber. At this time, Luffy looked at the other side, and then ran to the other side and shouted, "Fireworks." Then Luffy frantically attacked the wall of the Arc Proverbs, and then, countless Luffy rubber arms began to bounce around. Luffy attacked desperately, and Enel charged towards Luffy with a smug look. "Idiot, you can't hit me. Are you trying to sabotage the ship? Idiot." As soon as Enel's voice fell, he found that Luffy's rain-like attack had already landed on him. Bang bang. Luffy's series of big moves also hit Enel on the opposite side. At this time, Enel was already injured, and at this time, it was even more injured. Rebound. The fist that was bounced back by the wall did not have Luffy's will. So, it seems that Luffy is really not a big idiot. Shu King commented in his heart. "Won't let you run away again," Luffy yelled, seemingly finding a good way to fight Enel. Rubber. Bazooka. The saying goes, the iron should be struck while the iron is hot. At this time, Luffy's rubber rocket launcher was also mounted on Enel's chest very accurately. Even before, the rubber rocket launcher was Luffy's ultimate move, but now, Enel has been hit by Luffy's two ultimate moves one after the other, and naturally fell to the ground in great pain. Of course, Enel didn't die at this point, and Luffy's next attack had already arrived. Rubber screw bomb. Luffy then smashed Enel's body heavily with a screw fist, and Enel's body naturally spun and flew out. Observation hockey is the same thing. You must be very focused when using it, but if you are hit by the other party while using observation hockey, then the ability of observation hockey will naturally fail. On the one hand, Enel was in a state of turmoil, and on the other hand, it was because of the previous battle with Shu King that he was seriously injured, and his body could not obey at all. In addition, driving the Ark also wasted a lot of physical strength, so Enel fell down at this time. A necessary reason. At this time, Luffy was out of breath, and Enel in front of him seemed to be reached, but the Arc Proverbs still released the black cloud, and it looked like it didn't stop at all. "Get up, stop pretending, I know you're not dead yet," Shu King said directly, looking at Enel who was lying on the ground. Enel then got up slowly, blood all over his face. "Idiot, that's all. As long as you two are not there, it's my world. Everyone will again fear me, worship me, my world. How can a nobody like you be able to compare to me? For me, it's impossible. I'm an almighty god." At this time, Enel felt almost like he was going crazy. "Look, the devil," And the rubber man, the despair of this falling island. Sky Island is about to end, the lives of the angels will end, no one can stop it, and of course you can't. At this time, Enel directly injected the lightning in his hand into the wall of going. Damn. At this time, Luffy rushed directly to Enel. Lay metallurgy. Enel directly used electric heat to make going into the shape of a huge ball. Yahaha. Rubber man of the blue sea, I don't have to compete with you, Enel said. Get away from me, you bastard, Luffy scolded. You pull your hand out again, and you can't stand it if you stick with me, said Enel's enchanting Isho. Let's just say goodbye, let's say goodbye. This is your heroic and good fight as soon as possible. Let's commend it. Only Luffy knew how heavy this going ball was. Because at that moment, Luffy's entire body was pulled down by the going ball. Seeing that Luffy was getting farther and farther away from the Arc Proverbs, Shu Kang had to take action. Luffy, it seems that this guy is more suitable for me to deal with, Shu Kang said. At this time, Shu Kang also reacted very quickly. On the one hand, in order to rescue Luffy, on the other hand, to block Enel, he directly used the very versatile ninjutsu, the art of wooden clone. Shu Kang split into two, one went to rescue Luffy, and the other rushed to Enel. Even Enel, who owns the heart net, was taken aback. After all, Enel had never seen such a strange fighting style. Rescued Luffy naturally stopped Luffy in midair easily. Fighting Enel, he was a little more serious. Since Enel was willing to use observation haki at this time, Shu Kang would have some burdens. But don't forget, who is Shu Kang? People who have so many special abilities such as Kaleidoscope, Zanpakuto, Ninjutsu, and Armament Devil Fruit naturally still don't think much of Enel. On this sea, the strong are like clouds, Enel. What qualifications do you have to call yourself the strongest? What qualifications do you have to call yourself a god? Shu Kang questioned Enel directly. Don't be ashamed to talk there. In the end, you are just a little devil. You are still like the Straw Hat Boy in Blue Sea, fall to your death. At this time, Enel couldn't bear it anymore. Shu Kang heard Enel's remarks. After that, it is also very embarrassing. People like this stick to their own opinions and rely on a certain aspect of ability, and can never achieve comprehensive improvement. In other words, although Enel's fruit ability is very strong, in the second half of the Great Waterway, he will definitely be beaten until his mother doesn't know it. Chapter 144-Horrible Enel. The third. Damn. At this time, Luffy fell into the Arc Motto. Shu Kang rushed out immediately and caught Luffy. Wow. Thank you Shu Kang. But this ball. Luffy blurted out the word for the ball, and the going ball instantly pulled Shu Kang and Luffy down. I don't really want to use this trick, but now there is no other way. Shu Kang quickly formed a seal in the air, and then said, Chidori. Shu Kang's hand directly condensed the chakra of the thunder attribute. Don't forget, Shu Kang can use ninjutsu. Luffy's arm with Chidori, that would be too exaggerated. Shu Kang just used Chidori to touch the going ball, and then increased the output of the thunder attribute chakra, so he easily fused the huge going ball for Luffy. Wow, thank you Shu Kang. I can finally move freely. At this time, Luffy directly stretched out his arm, grabbed the bottom part of the Arc Proverbs, and then quickly moved towards the Arc Proverbs. You go first, Luffy. I'll handle this going. Shu Kang could be suspended in the air, so naturally he was not in a hurry. At this time, Shu Kang looked at the huge going in front of him, and countless complicated thoughts flashed in his heart. Host, what are you hesitating? Could it be that you want to go? The system suddenly started a conversation with Shu Kang. Of course. Who doesn't love going? Shu Kang responded directly to the system. Then you try to take him away. The system also pointed to the maze. How to take him? If I knew how to take him, I would have taken him long ago. Do you think this is a golden hoop? Can it get bigger or smaller? Shu Kang couldn't help scolding. That's not enough. But don't forget, you have a magic bag before. You can take out 3 things every day. The system prompted. So, Shu Kang didn't understand the meaning of the system. Could it be, Shu Kang already had a possibility in his heart? Yeah, the magic bag can not only take 3 things a day, but also put countless things every day. It's a space bag. If you want to get something that isn't in this bag, then it will change what you need. I don't know, do you understand? The system's words at this time completely stunned Shu Kangzin. System, I solemnly warn you here for the last time. In the future, I will explain all the rewards clearly, otherwise. If not, I will not be able to do anything at that time. The big deal is that I will be stuck in this world forever. Shu Kang's warning didn't seem to have any effect on the system, and the system had long since disappeared. Oh, my God. Shu Kang was speechless and then easily put the large piece of going into his magical bag. In this way, Shu Kang doesn't have to beg Nami for everything. After all, it is Nami who manages the finances on the ship. There is no need to say how stingy that guy is about money. Now that the Arc Proverbs has been activated, no matter what you do, there is no way to save this country. Shu Kang, join hands with me. With your ability, I would rather entrust you with the position of the Great Priest. At this time, Enel was still throwing an olive branch at Shu Kang. Sky Island will fall from the sky, and I, the Almighty God, will ascend to infinity. Use this going-s arc motto. By the way, there is one more thing that I will never forget, that is, in the process of climbing, I retrieved the treasure. Going clock. For me, who is in the sky, it is the most suitable, huge clock. At this time, Enel was still doing his own going dream. As everyone knows, Shu Kang, who is in front of Enel at this time, has disappeared with a bang. The reason why the wooden clone disappeared is because the main body has returned. Yes, Shu Kang came back at this time, and there was another person who came back with Shu Kang, and that was Luffy. Usopp. Ah. At this moment, a strange cry came from below the motto of the arc, and then, Enel's brows wrinkled again. After finally surviving, you came to die, why can't you abandon your past identities and past thoughts? Don't you have a future you yearn for? It was obvious that Enel at this time felt that there was someone on the Arc Proverbs, so grumbled. Enel, what's the use of talking about this now? You must have failed here, because you are alone, and we are partners together. After Shu Kang's words fell, he naturally won Luffy's friendliness look. Yeah, if you don't cherish your companions, you don't even have the qualifications to become One Piece King of Pirates. Luffy also agreed. Captain Shu Kang said that there is no problem. Just like that. Is it a god? It's too shabby, isn't it? To take advantage of Miss Nami's separation from us, I almost tried to persuade her to switch, and I almost hurt Sister Robin. You really don't know Lian Xiangxiu. If it weren't for Shu Kang, we would have been killed by this guy long ago. At this time, the Straw Hats and his party had all arrived. Under such circumstances, it was a very exciting thing for everyone to be able to expire. At this time, Enel laughed again. Ahahaha, it's ridiculous, a group of mortals get together and want to defeat a god. Who doesn't have the ability to press the bottom of the box yet? At this time, Enel obviously felt that his momentum had changed, and Shu Kang was the first to feel it. Naturally, he advised everyone to be careful. The Arc Proverbs suddenly released 10 times the previous thundercloud, and the entire Arc Proverbs was also stimulated by Enel's lightning. I don't know why, but at this time Enel seemed to be covered with lightning all over his body, as if he was wearing Raikage Thor armor. This guy gathered all the thunderclouds on him. Nami was also surprised. Didn't this set her on fire? Something doesn't seem right. This guy won't be stupid enough to kill himself with lightning, Sanji analyzed. I have a very bad feeling. At this time, Usopp was also very frightened. This, and its terrifying power, attracting thousands of thunder. This level, Marine Admiral, can it be achieved? Robin couldn't give himself a standard answer at this time. I didn't expect that. I have never seen Enel use this trick in the original book. Shu Kang was also a little overwhelmed, but Shu King was still ready to face Enel. Since you disobeyed the power of God, I had no choice but to use God's sanctions to wipe out all of you stupid blue sea people. Of course, I'm going to kill these stupid angels in one go. Then, go to my infinite land. Yahahahaha. At this time, Enel has obviously entered a state of madness, and ordinary people cannot understand his psychology at all. Shu King could feel that there was already a scorching smell in the air. Chapter 145 Form Max. Thor, please accept. The first Guro no Mi, Rumble Fruit, Awakening Thor Max. I see. This guy has absorbed the thunderclouds released by the Arc Proverbs, attracting all the thunder and lightning factors. He has maximized his ability, so it's not easy to handle. Shu King figured out the matter after the whole story. I was also a little worried. Shu King is relatively familiar with what has appeared in the original work, so naturally there is no problem. However, this time the matter is obviously outside the scope of medical treatment, and it is no longer a simple matter to properly solve Enel. Absorbing Wan Lei's Enel, the feeling is obviously different at this time. I am God. I am Raiden itself. Discharge. At this time, Enel was no longer as arrogant as before, but looked very cold, as if raising his hand could kill everyone and everything. At this time, Enel didn't even move his body when a lightning bolt suddenly rushed out. Shu King found that he could no longer keep up with the speed of Enel's lightning at this time. Boom! After a loud bang, Usopp, Sanji, and the others were already lying on the ground with their whole bodies charred. Although they were still alive, they were terrible. Usopp, Sanji, Luffy was startled, and shot directly at Enel's set of rubber machine guns. At this time, Enel directly used Logia's ability to immunize all of Luffy's actions, and then, he was about to release a thunderbolt, which was about to strike. Zoro also rushed forward at this time, and Wiper also stood up and fought against Enel. Everyone besieged Enel in unison, but Enel just said calmly, "Thunder." After the voice fell, everyone felt a numbness, and Shu King shouted at this time, "Tudun Tuliu City Wall." The enhanced version of Tulubi, Shu King used it so easily, such a strong Tudun defense technique could reasonably be expected to block a very powerful attack. However, Shu King, who was in a hurry, also showed a surprised expression for the first time. The earth flow wall was broken so easily. Immediately afterwards, everyone was knocked down one by one, and only Luffy and Shu King were able to stand up. I'll go first. I must shoot him. Rubber. Luffy has been completely seen by Enel before he can shoot. Enel's heart network seems to be stronger at this time, and can predict a more accurate future. Luffy, be careful, Shu King shouted in a hurry, but the final result was the same as what Shu King thought. Luffy was punched away by Enel. Why is that? Even Luffy is no match for Enel. Shu King felt very strange. It stands to reason that Luffy should be the protagonist and should not fall to the ground so easily. At this time, the system appeared again, which also solved Shu King's doubts. Luffy is the protagonist of the world of One Piece, King of Pirates, but don't forget, in this world, the real protagonist can only be you. The person who can solve Enel and solve everything can only rely on you. Because you are Shu King, you did not belong to this world. Don't rely on others, since you think they are your partners, then this time, go all out to save them. Fight for friendship. Shu King's blood was surging with the system's words. Yeah, since I exist in this world, let the enemy become stronger. After all, I am the protagonist of this world. After Shu King figured it out, he felt that his whole body's strength had recovered. By the way, system, do you know what happened to Enel? Shu King asked. Because of you, because you didn't belong to this world. Now, the world should have realized your existence. Enel should have been stimulated by you and Luffy, and somehow awakened the fruit. The awakening of Logia's Guro no Mi, Rumble Fruit. I actually have to face such a behemoth. Shu King felt the heavy burden on his shoulders. If you allow yourself to have a golden finger like the system, you will allow the enemy to be changed by magic. It is not wrong to think so. At this time, while Shu Kang was talking to the system, Enel slowly walked towards Shu Kang, and then asked, "People from the Blue Sea, Shu Kang. You have repeatedly interfered with my plan. Since you refused God's proposal, then God has only, destroy you." Enel said. "God. Ridiculous. Then let me see how powerful your God is." Shu Kang didn't plan to hide it now. The power of the devil fruit. Shu Kang directly entered the first form, followed by the second form, and finally turned into the form of a devil from all over his body. In the end, Shu Kang returned to his original form, and finally turned into a humanoid again. Condition. The breath was originally brought to the limit, but now it has converged to the limit. Shu Kang turned on the writing wheel in an instant, and the kaleidoscope writing wheel was ready to use at any time. After all, it was quite a burden to keep the kaleidoscope turned on for a long time. Shu Kang also directly released his Shira power, Shikai. Shu Kang has maximized the power he can exert. Enel also seemed to sense Shu Kang's strength, looked at Shu Kang a little surprised. The corners of his mouth rose and said, "That's it, this is your true strength, very strong. You made me look up to you again." "Yes," I said. "No, you made me regret it, and I still want to ask you a question. Are you willing to join?" Enel has invited Shu Kang once again, but it can be felt that Enel's invitation this time is definitely the last one. "Yes, this is the last time, there is no next time, either you die or I die," Enel said. "Okay, let's fight then. I also want to see if you, the god of thunder and lightning, are stronger. Or am I stronger now?" After Shu Kang finished speaking, he used it directly at Enel without any pause at all. One move. Amaterasu. Shu Kang's left eye stared at Enel. Enel's expression Vivi was startled, and then he immediately dodged away. "I know you will dodge, and I also know that you will dodge this way." Shu Kang's Amaterasu just wanted to create a good opportunity for himself. At this time, Shu Kang's eyes had firmly grasped Enel, and then he released the illusion. Shu Kang also moved his hands. Wind escape wind cut technique. Wind escape super breakthrough. Wind escape. Feng Dun restrains Lei Dun, which is also true in the world of pirates. However, Enel did not worry about these winds caused by Shu Kang, but directly raised his strength to the maximum and shouted. "Thor form max. Thor." Shu Kang was stunned. What's the situation? Thor's form. Thor. Why is the Thor coming in so suddenly? However, Shu Kang didn't know that all the names of Enel's moves were from the Thors of various countries in the real world. Chapter 146_Asura Demon's Origin. Ellipsis. The second more Asura Demon's Origin. Shu Kang, I have to thank you. If it weren't for you, I would never have mastered this move. The strongest Thor form could only last for a few seconds before, but now, not only can it be maintained for a long time, it can also exert the voltage of maximum power. Quote. Let me tell you that Thor form max, Thor, has a total of 5 times the normal voltage. 1,000,000,000 volts. Enel wasn't joking. Shu Kang could feel that it was as if there was an extra sun in front of him, hot and bright in front of him. The thunder light was no longer the blue thunder before, but a strange yellow thunder. Shu Kang could already feel the pressure just by getting close to Enel, which shows how strong Enel is at this time. At this point, I still want to make a game. I know, you are strong. Strong enough to resist my 200 million volts, but I'm curious, how much electricity can you resist me? Enel then raised his hand and shouted at Shu Kang, 300 million volts. Discharge. The discharge of 300 million volts has a feeling of being bombarded by a cannon. Shu Kang was hit by a terrifying 300 million volts of lightning. Asura. Shu Kang's Zanpakudo also seemed to have directly created a layer of barrier. This layer of barrier blocked Shu Kang's surroundings. Apart from feeling the numbness, Shu Kang didn't feel anything else. Not bad. It's very strong. 400 million volts. At this time, the corner of Enel's Enel's mouth and Vivi raised, with a smirk. Shu King only felt that the numbness around him became stronger, and his body seemed to be unable to move. No, just relying on the strength of the Zanpakuto is not enough to resist such a terrifying thunderbolt. Shu King immediately made a decision. The power of the devil. Shu King urged the power of the devil. Since he had entered the fourth form, the power of the devil was used at will. Shu King is the devil himself, so he is not afraid of these 400 million volts. Zanpakuto's barrier and demon power are perfectly combined, and 400 million volts are also immune. This time, not only did Shu King not feel any fatigue, but his whole body became more relaxed. Oh, your ability is really interesting, but I didn't plan to stop here, it's only 500 million volts. The thunderbolt released by Enel turned out to be stronger. At this time, Shu King was still able to hold on. 600 million volts. At this time, it was already 3 times the state of Thor. Shu King clenched his teeth and insisted, which made Enel feel a little incredible. I didn't expect you to be able to prevent such a high attack from me. Enel once again strengthened the power of the attack. 700 million volts. Enel's energy was released again, this time stronger than before, but now, even Shu King can't hold on anymore. This level of voltage, even if Shu King used the power of the devil and the Zanpakuto, he couldn't handle it. Suzanengu. Shu King didn't care anymore, and directly opened the kaleidoscope writing wheel. The abilities of both eyes combined, and finally, Susanoo appeared. The Zanpakuto barrier, Susanoo, and the power of the devil all covered Shu King's surroundings. Once again, thunder and lightning could not affect Shu King at all. At this time, Enel was naturally a little embarrassed. He originally wanted to make a game, but after a long time, Shu King actually managed to hold it. Humph. Enel, try it anyway, your thunderbolt has no effect on me at all. At this time, Shu King didn't care about Enel at all, which made the originally calm Enel become furious. Bastard. Shu King, I want you to die. 800 million volts. Enel is already real, 800 million volts. That's 800 million volts. At this level, maybe people in the entire pirate world can't handle it. However, Shu King was still Vivi Isho at this time, and it seemed that no amount of electricity or pressure could overwhelm him. 900 million volts. When Enel raised another 100 million volts, Shu King's whole body had already begun to hold on. Even if he couldn't break Shu King's outer shell, the surrounding electric molecules could still affect Shu King. I can only get to this way. Don't forget that the kaleidoscope writing wheel can't be used all the time. After using it for a long time, it will be a burden on the body. At this time, Shu King has been using Susuo to resist lightning, and it has been a great burden. Shu King's consciousness was also somewhat blurred. However, although Shu King felt miserable, in Enel's eyes it was a completely different scene. This bastard can resist 900 million volts. Why, just a blue sea winner. So strong. He must be killed. Only by killing him, no one can possibly be better than me. Deal with him. Use the strongest move. Billion-volt Thor. After Enel finished speaking, there was a Thor's hammer in his hand, and he could clearly feel that this Thor's hammer should contain all of Enel's power. Armament is hardened. Shu King remembered at this moment that he still had an armament that he did not use. Using armament, Shu King also picked up his Shira and rushed towards Enel. Enel's hammer of Thor's thunder and lightning is so dazzling that anyone who sees it will be terrified. In this way, Shu King was instantly engulfed by lightning, but Shu King did not die. He just felt that his body seemed to be destroyed by lightning. No, I want to win, I want to win. Shu King shouted, thinking of Luffy, Usopp, Nami, Zoro, Sanji, Chopper, Robin and others. The adventure is still waiting for me, you big-eared thief. Will I be killed by you? Shu King's will persisted at this moment. Then, things took an unexpected turn once again. Shu King only felt that Susanoo had the armor on his body, but at this time it was actually covered by armament hardening. Immediately afterwards, the barrier created by the Zanpakuto was actually absorbed by the demon suit on him. Shu Kang felt that the power of 1 billion volts was transforming himself at this moment, and many of his powers were merging. Every power comes from a different world, and the meaning of this fusion is unprecedented. Even Shu Kang didn't know what it would look like after he merged. Shu Kang only felt that he was continuously getting stronger. But after a while, Shu Kang came out of the billion volts. It turned out that Shu Kang did not fight with Enel. He was swallowed by lightning before, which seemed to be just an illusion. It seems to be just a moment to help myself break through. However, in an instant, millions of possibilities occurred. Shu Kang's entire body has also changed. Susanoo, plus armament armor, plus demon limb possession, plus Zanpakuto's super barrier. I would like to call you the strongest. The origin of the Asura demon. Enel, die. Shu Kang took out his Shira and slashed towards Enel's Thor's hammer. Chapter 147-Kill Enel. A silver ticket. The third more Devil's Thunder. This guy. It's changed again. At this time, Enel was puzzled while attacking Shu Kang. But what Shu Kang was thinking about was the future, an adventure with his companions. The two attacks finally fell together. Boom. With the two as the center, a considerable shock wave was generated, and the arc motto itself was affected. At this moment, Enel no longer cared about the motto of the arc. He only cared about himself to defeat Shu Kang in front of him. However, at this time, Shu Kang was not so easy to defeat. In the state of Asura demon, even Enel's billion volts cannot be destroyed. Defeat. Enel. Shu Kang's condition is getting better and better, and his attack strength is also increasing. However, Enel felt more and more pressure. Impossible. It's impossible. It's absolutely impossible. After awakening, why did I lose to him? I'm a god. This is absolutely impossible. Enel watched helplessly as his attack was broken by Shu Kang, and then he was defeated by Shu Kang, but he was helpless. Disappear. Shu Kang naturally wouldn't leave Enel with the possibility of surviving and escaping the infinite land. This level of attack had completely knocked Enel out of existence. Enel was killed by Shu Kang like this. For others, it might be an extremely long process, but for Shu Kang, it was a short moment. Just near Angel Island, the residents of Sky Island who were running for their lives said, "Look. The thundercloud has completely disappeared." What happened? At this time, the partners also slowly got up and saw the dazzling sunshine. From then on, there were no more thunderclouds, thunder and lightning to destroy them. Shu Kang, hurry up and ring the bell. At this time, after Luffy was transformed by magic, Enel couldn't stand up at all, but he desperately pleaded. As long as the bell rings, the war will end. Wiper also told the legend he knew. Yes, the Holy Land will usher in another singing, for sure. Gonfuer also recovered from his injury and said to Shu Kang. Shu Kang remembered what Uncle Diamond said before, from Rolando. I saw a huge going city on an island called Gaia on the Great Route 6 years ago. Going Township, it exists. Leave it to me. Shu Kang knew that in the original book, it was Luffy who rang the going bell, but at this time, it was himself who rang the going bell. Boom. Shu Kang rang the going bell very smoothly. Shu Kang used his skill to not only ring the bell, but also did not damage the going bell itself. Boom. Boom. The bell rang through the sky and resounded through the heavens and the earth. Uncle, can you hear it? Going Township exists, and it has been there for 400 years. Going Township exists in the sky. Luffy also couldn't help but said his monologue. Did it. We did it. At this time, Usopp was also moved to tears. After all, Usopp himself likes a man like the sporadic uncle very much. Robin also said with a smile, "How beautiful." Beautiful voice. Great, said Chopper. I believe that this day will always come. Ganfor also smiled. At this time, Sanji held a cigarette in his mouth and said happily, is this the bell that Rolando has heard before? Ha! When Shu King flew down from the sky, he also saw the huge python. Shu King knew for a long time that the python called the Lord of the Sky was not an ordinary python. Lord of the Sky, once with Rolando and the great warrior Calgary. After the bell rang through the sky, countless guide birds flew towards Sky Island and towards Shandora. It's great. It's ringing. Luffy smiled and lay on the cloud, said, Uncle, did they hear it? I must have heard it. Shu King smiled. Next, Wiper and Ganfor reached an agreement that Angel Island and Appayado would travel freely. Although it sounds like they are still two forces, since Enel has been defeated, everyone has also let go of their old prejudices. All of which are naturally attributed to the Straw Hats. Of course, the biggest contributor is still Shu King, because everyone saw that Shu King killed Enel. But Shu King was also a little embarrassed, because if it wasn't for his appearance, Enel wouldn't have become so powerful, and Luffy would definitely be able to defeat him. However, it is meaningless to say so much. It is better to accept the fact that you are a hero. Since Enel has been defeated, it doesn't make much sense for us to ask for these goings. You can take as much as you can. Heroes. Whether it is the residents of Sky Island or the residents of Sandia, both it is very generous, and Nami will naturally not refuse this going that comes to your door. Besides, everyone's original goal is actually for these goings. After all, with the recent financial crisis, the most important thing to remember is that Mary is no longer alive, and everyone has to rush to repair the ship. Of course, Mary's current situation should not be repaired. Not only going, Luffy also ransacked the food bank of the priests directly after recovering. Not only was he full, but he also got the food on the boat. Of course, everyone was not in a hurry to leave. In the evening, everyone participated in the bonfire party together, and everyone ate, drank and had fun together. Even Shu King was enjoying himself. However, the only thing that made Shu King speechless was that his appetite was getting bigger and bigger. Although he was not as good as Luffy, he was not far behind. Shu King was already the second best foodie in the Straw Hat group. Shu King estimated that all of this seemed to be related to the progress of his own strength. However, what Shu King was more worried about was not his own food intake, but his own eyes. His eyes have already begun to blur, and the kaleidoscope writing wheel eye is so unused. However, it is also true that the Susanoo used by Shu King has long exceeded the standard of the Naruto world. The consumption of chakra is like running water. If it is not because Shu King's chakra exploded, it would not be so bad. Moderate use. What are you thinking about? Drink. Eat meat. Luffy and the others were still smiling at the banquet, and Shu King also rested early. On the second day, everyone went to do what they liked. Usopp collected a lot of shells, Zoro continued to practice swordsmanship, and Nami, Luffy and others went directly to the belly of the Lord of the Sky. As for Shu King, he accompanied Robin to Going Zong's home. There is naturally a piece of historical text. At this time, many Shandorians were there, discussing the text above. Keep your heart in your heart, don't say too much, I am the one who compiles history, and I am with the bell of the big clock tower. Robin read out the things on the stone tablet very easily. Everyone was shocked. The old chief of Sandora asked, What? Can you understand it? Chapter 148 Leaving Sky Island. First change. Can you read those words? Sandora's leader looked at Robin in surprise and confusion. Robin slowly walked to the historical text and said, The ancient weapon with the name of God, Poseidon, where he is. The people around started talking. What did she say? Ancient weapons. Why are you writing this? What the hell is going on? At this time, Robin was also a little nervous, and it could be seen that she was thinking a lot at this time. I didn't expect that this ancient weapon is still somewhere in this world, asleep. Robin looked at Shu King and said lightly. Yeah, Neptune and Pluto, the three ancient weapons, still exist somewhere in the world. Shu King also said quietly. However, this time it really failed again. Robin said. Isn't it the historical text you want to find? Shu Kang asked. No, I don't want to know these things. Robin said to Shu Kang as he walked outside. At this moment, a Shandora man asked, is the inscription over there the same? Shu Kang also noticed it and immediately said, Robin, there is another word over there. Naturally, Robin turned back immediately and found that there was actually a text next to the original historical text. Gul D. Roger. What? Robin then read it out in words that only Shu Kang could hear. I'm here to lead this text to the last place, pirates, Gul D. Roger. One Piece King of Pirates. Robin exclaimed. Could it be that he has also been to this sky island? Robin couldn't believe it. It should be, otherwise he wouldn't leave such a sentence, but according to the time, Enel should not have appeared on Sky Island at that time. Shu Kang said. What does this article mean? Why would he use this word without leaving it alone? Robin asked. The last place, I think it should be Laugh Tale, right? Shu Kang also guessed. Maybe the blank 100 years, and all the secrets are hidden there. The big secret treasure is not just a treasure, but some kind of treasure. The truth, so Roger died just to attract more people to find the truth. Robin did not rule out the possibility, but she was still surprised that Shu Kang would make such an inference. At this time, Ganfort spoke. Does it say Roger? Know him? Robin asked. The blue sea pirate who came to this sky island 20 years ago, is his name engraved there? Gunfer asked. Yes, although I don't know how he got here, it's definitely evidence that won't go away. Speaking of which, there are two kinds of stones in the historical text, the stone that records information, and the stone that indicates where the stone is. Then, this stone is the stone that records information. When I got here, the last place I remembered this text. Is it really Laugh Tale? Guide the text. Could it be? The real historical text is located. Robin combined with Shu Kang's statement. It seems that there is already found the correct answer in his mind. Is there an answer? Shu Kang asked. Well, yes. Robin nodded. Elder, this historical text has completed its mission. Robin said. Yes, there are several historical texts scattered around the world that record information. Only by reading them in series can they become articles that fill in the blank history. That is to say, only after completing the series of documents can they not exist in the world now. The actual historical text above, One Piece King of Pirates Roger, should indeed reach the destination of the article, Robin said. So, has our mission been completed? The elders asked. We already don't need to fight anymore. The elders wept. It turned out that the elders were also monument watchers. So, the ancestors' wish has been fulfilled. The elder fell to the ground with a smile. Let's go, Captain Shu Kang. I will also try my best to connect all the historical texts together. Robin and Shu Kang then walked outside. I feel that Shu Kang and Luffy are very similar to Roger. I don't know if it is an illusion. Ganfer said. Luffy, his full name is Monkey D. Luffy. And I'm also very interested in him, Robin said. So that's the case. There is one letter in the name that is the same. However, I think Mr. Shu Kang always has an unfathomable and mysterious feeling. Ganfer said. Yeah, this is also our captain. We call him a prophet because he can predict the future. I also think it's amazing. Robin looked at Shu Kang and praised him. Instead, Shu Kang felt a little embarrassed, and immediately said modestly, No. Immediately afterwards, Shu Kang and Robin returned to the team, and then they returned to marry with their partners. Everyone chose to leave directly, while Uncle Page and Miss Connus escorted him. Everyone, you can see it, cried Miss Connus. Look ahead, the end of the cloud has been reached. Sure enough, the sea of clouds in front of him is a building. I didn't expect it to arrive so soon, Usopp said. Are we going down? Luffy was also a little discouraged. Indeed, when it's time to go down, I'm really reluctant. Sanji also said with a cigarette. I have to say goodbye to this white ocean. Zoro also sighed while sitting on the boat. Sky Island is a joy, albeit scary, Chopper said. Did you see it? The front says the end of the Sea of Clouds. As long as you pass through this gate, you should be able to take the canal back to the Blue Sea, right? Shu Kang saw the door ahead. I don't know, can I come to Sky Island again? Nami asked. I don't know that, Usopp said. At this time, the road in the Sea of Clouds narrowed, and Uncle Page and Miss Canis abandoned the boat and ran. Then everyone, I'm sorry, we'll send it here. Everyone, take care. Thank you for coming to see us. Nami said. Konis, take care of your health. Sanji said. Say hello to the others for us. Usopp said. Goodbye. Anyway, thank you, Luffy said. We are, thank you so much, we will never forget you. Canis said. Konis, Uncle, and Xiaobai, take care. Luffy shouted. Then, quickly put up the sails and hold on to the hull, Page said. Okay, do as Uncle said. It seems that the speed below will be quite fast. Usopp was naturally the most obedient. SA 7,000 meter ramp, hurry up. Luffy said. Immediately afterwards, everyone started to mobilize together. At this time, the guide bird that was found earlier also flew back and stepped on Luffy on the ground. Chopper translated. He said, don't forget me. Chapter 149 Falling from the Sky. The second. Ah, it's a guide bird that was brought into the air together. Nami responded. Immediately afterwards, Mary passed through the gate where the end of the Sea of Clouds was written. Then, Captain, you can also see the record of the next island clearly. Nami said, looking at the record pointer on her wrist. Ah, yes. Luffy grinned Isho. Next, we're going to start a new adventure. Guys. Then, go back to the Blue Sea. Luffy raised his hand and everyone was very excited. Mary, then followed the Cloud River, driving towards the Blue Sea like a roller coaster. Everyone, you're on the way down now, be careful. As soon as Canis's voice fell, Mary went straight into the air. Immediately afterwards, Mary fell towards the bottom at an extremely fast speed. Shu King and the others were immediately terrified. Of course, they did not encounter any danger. I only heard a whistle, and then, a huge monster suddenly rushed out of the Cloud River, which seemed to be an octopus. The octopus wrapped the Mary with its tentacles. Zoro still wanted to attack this monster. Unexpectedly, the octopus seemed to bulge, and finally formed a parachute-like thing, and slowly landed towards the ground. What is this? Zoro asked, surprised and curious. It's a balloon, Chopper exclaimed excitedly. Wow, ha, that's interesting, Luffy said. Slow down. Nami felt much more stable now. I thought I had already arrived in that world. Usopp was already scared to death. At this time, the bell sounded again in the sky. Everyone raised their heads and looked at the direction in which the bell rang, and they all laughed. At this time, the bell rang, and it was obvious that the friends of Sky Island practiced for everyone. This is indeed the case. Haha, this is so good. Really. Everyone enjoyed the joy of slowly landing in the sky, and then everyone became excited, because this time the harvest was very rich, and everyone gained a lot of going. Shu King himself secretly stored some going in his magical bag. Going. We've finally become a millionaire, what are we going to buy? Luffy was very excited along the way. Buy a giant bronze statue. Idiot. Buy bronze with gold, what are you going to do? You should buy cannons. Add 10 cannons. Immediately approached Nami and said coquettishly, Miss Nami. I want a refrigerator with a lock ... Me, I want to buy a book. I want to see medicine in other countries. Chopper also said. I don't need anything, but should we fix our partner? Mary. Shu King's words woke everyone up. Before waiting for the friends to say anything, Robin called Nami out from outside. Nami then looked at the recording pointer on her wrist and shouted. It's over. I ran into the airflow, and I don't know when it started to deviate from the course. Nami said. Is it serious? Is the air current a gust of wind? Sanji and the others asked. Of course it's very serious. If it goes on like this, I don't know where it will fall. What should I do? In this case, it's impossible to open the sail to control it. Nami was a little overwhelmed. Shu King said, what's the matter? Anyway, the magnetic force of the pointer has been stored. Next, just go back to the boat and drive on the correct route. Easy to say, we'll waste a lot of time this way, Nami said. It's okay, when we get back to the sea, we'll just set off for the next island. Luffy also didn't care. You're still the same, so relaxed. Nami spat. Sanji looked at the octopus and said, I always feel that something is wrong, no. Maybe it's my illusion. Not good. At this time, Zoro also suddenly shouted. Everyone looked over nervously, and Zoro then said, it turned out to be a dream. Then Zoro fell asleep again. Everyone immediately complained. What the hell are you doing? Green algae hair, I'm going to kill you. ... Everyone made a fuss, and in the end, they continued to wait. The octopus kept descending, and the sun also descended. It took a long time to get back to Blue Sea, Robin said. I don't even know where the boat is going, so I can't keep my spirits up, Nami said. Then I'll sing a song and let Nami lift her spirits. Sanji approached Nami again. But Nami ruthlessly punched him away. It's so boring, I don't know when I can get down there. Zoro was also getting a little irritable. Hey, if you have time, you can come and play. It's very interesting. Shu King, let's come too. Ha ha ha. The person who spoke was naturally Luffy, but at this time Luffy could only hear his voice but not see him. Is it Luffy? Just now, where did the sound come from? Usopp and Chopper were also very puzzled. On top of Octopus. Shu King didn't pay attention to Luffy just now, but with Shu King's knowledge of Luffy, he could guess that he went to the top. Sure enough, after Sanji finished asking, Luffy had already started all kinds of bouncing on the octopus's head. Wow, dangerous. That kind of place, said Usopp. I said Luffy, don't mess around. Our lives are all on him. Nami was very frightened, and the person who would make the most trouble was none other than Luffy. It's okay. Luffy was having a great time. At this time, Sanji seemed to have noticed something and immediately shouted, Stop Luffy. Calm down. No, calm down. Everyone looked at Sanji suspiciously, not quite understanding what Sanji meant. This octopus is shrinking, and if it is an octopus, it will fall. Sanji immediately climbed towards it after saying that. Sanji finally caught Luffy back, but the final result was not very optimistic. At this time, the octopus really became smaller, and then it suddenly dropped rapidly. It fell. Not good. If this goes on, we will be buried at the bottom of the sea. It doesn't have to be falling into the sea. Robin's casual remarks seemed very vicious. Damn it. Do something. Usopp, Chopper said in tears and fear. I'll protect everyone. Usopp then used his equipment to come under the Mary, and then hit the empty shell he picked up from Sky Island to the bottom of the ship. Due to the power of the wind shell, the octopus really did. The rate of descent has slowed down. Ahahaha, did you see it? This uncle's active performance. Usopp was very proud. However, the octopus disappeared completely at this moment. Since there are no octopuses, the boat will no longer slow down even if the shells are released. How come? Everyone, grab the hull. Luffy reminded. Next, leave it to me. Shu King thought to himself, it was time for him to take action. Chapter 150_Blind Shu King. The third. Shira/. Shu King jumped directly under the boat, and then attached to the bottom part of the boat with chakra. Shu King, who was standing upside down at the bottom of the boat, pulled out Shira and launched a slash at the bottom of the boat at a very fast speed. Shu King's slashes did not converge in any way, and the sword energy that was slashed in an instant actually formed a barrier again. The strength of Shu Kang's swing of Shira also slowed down the speed of the entire ship's descent. Immediately afterwards, Shu Kang had no time to do anything. This is the end, Mary, I tried my best. After Shu Kang finished speaking, he rushed towards the boat at a very fast speed. Immediately afterwards, with only a huge thud, the Mary landed smoothly in the blue sea, which is the sea. Shu Kang put away Shira out of breath. He tried his best to slow down the speed of the fall and protect everyone. The sea was splashed with countless waves, all of which poured into the Mary, but the partners on the boat were not injured, which was a fortune among misfortunes. Nami, Robin, are you okay? Shu Kang asked. It's terrible. The octopus suddenly became smaller. However, what did you just do to make the boat go slower? Nami and the others asked. It's nothing, it's just a slash. Shu Kang didn't say much. It was his responsibility to keep his companions alive. Haha, it's alright, I'm finally alive, Luffy said. However, we really went to an incredible place. Sanji lit a cigarette again and sighed. It was only after I fell that I found out that the place was so far away. It was like a dream, said Nami Robin. Is it a dream? Because it's a dream country, when can I go again? Chopper also asked. You can go if you're dead. So close, Zoro said. Zoro, are you going to heaven? Usopp asked. Bastard, Zoro cursed. Forget it, it's finally down, now I'm going to make a cup of coffee. Sanji said. I want to eat, Sanji, Luffy said. Go right away, I mean you guys have a cup of coffee and wait. Sanji then entered the kitchen. I said, do you still have time to drink coffee and eat? Don't you see what's next to it? Shu Kang's words woke everyone up again. At this time, countless searchlights were suddenly turned on nearby, and everyone on the melee was immediately illuminated. Sirens sounded, footsteps blared, and more people turned their searchlights on the Mary. Here, where the hell is this? Luffy asked. This is the Marine G8 branch. Shu Kang's eyes had already seen everything. What? The little friends on the boat were all stunned, and Shu Kang also felt that he couldn't fly, the world of the original book. The plot is like a fishing net, firmly trapping the Straw Hats. At this moment, countless marine warships were dispatched, and countless marines had already aimed their cannons at the Mary. It's no use resisting. People on the boat listen, you're completely surrounded, come out now. Naturally, the Straw Hats and his party wouldn't sit still. Shu Kang said, according to the current situation, we should find a way to abandon the ship first. Otherwise, even if we can stop it, Mary can't stop it. Simply put, how do we escape under other people's noses? Nami asked. There are too many methods. Shu Kang and his partners acted immediately and quickly hid. As a result, the Mary was identified as a ghost ship. After all, witnesses from Marine saw that the Mary fell from the sky. Afterwards, the officers of the G8 branch began to call their subordinates to board the ship, to investigate, to stick seals, and to collect evidence, but they couldn't find any trace of the Straw Hats and his party, but everyone still settled on the fact that it was a ghost ship. The friends are all scattered. The next step is to find them one by one. Really, I didn't expect it to fall into Marine's branch, which is really unfortunate. But that's fine. It shows that everything is developing according to the original plot, at least things won't get out of my control. Shu Kang thought about it for a long time, and finally started looking for a partner. However, at this time, the partners were still a little too scattered, and Shu Kang, who had used Shaker, couldn't easily find a partner. Marines he saw in one breath. Doing so would cause more trouble, maybe change the plot, and possibly harm his partner. It hurts. Shu Kang felt pain at this time, and his eyes began to blur in an instant. Oops. The kaleidoscope used to go too far. Now. Scenes. Beginning to go blind. Due to the pain in his eyes, Shu Kang could only sit in the grass. The system. Is there any way to relieve it? Shu Kang was very helpless. He originally didn't want to look for the system, but this was the end of the matter, so he had to ask the system for help. "Aren't you working too hard?" the system said. Who knew that the negative impact of the kaleidoscope was so great? Shu Kang was also a little helpless. If it wasn't because Enel was changed by the devil, he wouldn't be so desperate. In a sense, if it wasn't for the system, Shu Kang would not have suffered this kind of crime. "My eyes hurt. What should the system do now?" Shu Kang asked directly. "Well, you have already left Sky Island, and this place is also part of the plot. In that case, the system will give you a special reward, right?" the system said. "System, don't you want to trick me? Just say what you want." Shu Kang always felt that the system was going to come up with some bad ideas. "I opened a small stove for you and came to the G8 branch. If you sign in successfully, this time I will directly give you a pair of kaleidoscopes. If you are familiar with Hokage, you should know that if you change the kaleidoscope, it will become an eternal kaleidoscope. In this way, in the future, you will not have to worry about the problem of your eyes." Quote. "Also, don't forget, you own the blood of the Thousand Hands clan, plus your Uchiha's blood. In the future, under certain conditions, Rinnegan will be awakened. Of course, this depends on luck. Maybe, when you arrive at Laugh Tale I can't wake up yet." Shu Kang listened to the system and said directly, "Then let's do it quickly. The system, without eyes, my combat effectiveness will be greatly reduced, and now I'll replace it with a kaleidoscope." The system then said, Yes, but whose kaleidoscope do you want to replace?" "Madara, Sasuke, Obito, Itachi Shisui. You have different choices and different abilities. You should know more about them, right? Each kaleidoscope's eye ability is different, and your choice will also make you bear different costs, so." Shu Kang's head was getting bigger, and he immediately asked, "What is the price? Tell me directly, system, don't make me talk." "Ha. The system then spoke up. Chapter 151-Sasuke, SIs____. First change. Any eye you choose will blind you for a period of time. In other words, you will temporarily become blind. In other words, your strength will be greatly reduced. After all, you can't show your true strength without eyes, the system said. It's normal to be blind for a period of time. Generally, eye replacement is a necessary process. It doesn't matter. Shu Kang then said, "The question is, how long does it take to wait?" Then the blind time varies depending on the ability, and that's the so-called price. Therefore, now there are the eyes of Uchiha Shisui who were blind for 3 hours, the eyes of Uchiha Itachi who were blind for 3 days, the eyes of Sasuke Uchiha who was blind for 30 days, and of course Uchiha who was blind for 30 months. "Spotted eyes," said the system. Hearing 3 hours was better, but when Shu Kang heard that he had been blind for 30 months, he was completely stunned. 30 months. That's too exaggerated, right? It's almost 3 years. Who can be blind for so long? Who can accept it? Shu Kang was speechless and jumped Uchiha Madara's eyes away. After all, this Uchiha Madara has been around for too long. Even if he has any particularly powerful abilities, there is no need to waste such a long time. 3 hours. It's a bit too short. I think it's a little bit of a choice for my ability. If it's 3 days, I feel a little uncomfortable. Relatively speaking, the eyes of Sasuke Uchiha, who chose to be blind for 30 days, are the best. Appropriate, Shu Kang said. Sasuke Uchiha, it's a good choice. His eyes can turn on Rinnegan, and as the protagonist, he will have certain benefits. It's really good. I think Madara Uchiha's time is a bit long. The system said. Then, are you sure you want to choose Sasuke Uchiha's eyes? Zeba writes the wheel eye, has Amaterasu, and has the ability to add earth life. The system asked again. Yes, sure. Shu Kang made a decision at JEK, and his whole person became a little different in an instant. The originally blurred eyes gradually turned gray at this time, and then the eyes seemed to be covered by a blindfold. Shu Kang felt that the whole world had turned into darkness again. Is this the world for the blind? It's really inconvenient to see nothing clearly. Shu Kang felt that something was wrong. He lost his eyes and felt much weaker about the whole world. System. Since you have already given me the eternal kaleidoscope, are you now staring at me for a long time and becoming a blind person? Shu Kang was ready to slap the system hard. What do you want? The system seemed to feel that something was wrong. Me, I don't really want to do anything. I just think, should you send something perceptive to let me know more or less about the outside world? I can't see anything right now. What if I'm hacked to death in a second? Shu Kang looked at the system and said nothing, then said, look, it's amazing that there are so many in the bag that I secretly took them away. Got going, these goings, I have no use. If you don't dislike it, just take him. I want to exchange going for a perception. What do you think? Going, perception. The system then said, actually, strictly speaking, this is not feasible. After all, we are a god-level sign in system, right? It's a face to say, the sign in system. Where does the sign in system look like now? Every time the sign in is successful after you leave, it's like getting a reward after hitting a boss. How boring. Invincible. Shu Kang also complained at the system. The system couldn't help it, and then said, okay. There's no need for personal attacks. Don't you just want to change a perception? I'll do it to the end. If you have those goings, I'll take them away, and I'll replace you with an observation hockey this time. In this world, in exchange for the ability of this world, you will not only get bonuses, but also pay a relatively small price. The system said. Okay, observation hockey, it's not bad. I don't know if it is from beginner to intermediate to advanced. Shu Kang had learned armament before, and naturally he knew that the three-color hockey sent by the system was divided into levels. Besides, won't you let me deal with those armament freaks again this time? Shu Kang was very nervous. He was almost similar to the armament freaks before. System immediately said, I'm not that boring. Before, it was for you to learn armament better. This time, it is for you to replace your eyes. Observation hockey, elementary, is enough. The system said, here you are. After the system's voice fell, Shu Kang immediately felt that there was some information in his brain that he didn't know at all. I see, is this the observation hockey? It's totally okay. Shu Kang then slowly stood up. Observation hockey is fully open, and although the surrounding picture is not as clear as the naked eye can see, it has become a different picture. Someone is here, Shu Kang said. Sure enough, a group of Marines ran in the direction of Shu Kang. Pirates. This is the devil Shu Kang. This guy's bounty is insanely high. Go and find our leader. Although Shu Kang couldn't see it, he already knew quite a bit about the surrounding situation. Looking for the leader. That would be too much trouble. Why don't you guys try my skills? After all, I am blind, Shu Kang said. This time did the Marines notice that Shu Kang's eyes seemed to be blindfolded. This guy seems to be blind. This is a great opportunity. Quick, let's go together. Use seastone bullets. The Marines thought they had found a golden opportunity to attack, so they all shot at Shu Kang. The seastone bullet was about to hit Shu Kang, but Shu Kang was so weird that he made a lower waist movement, just like the Matrix. All the bullets and Shu Kang were close at hand, but they passed by without hurting Shu Kang in the slightest. How is this possible? This guy can't see, why can he avoid our attack? Could it be that it's a coincidence? We are attacking once. Everyone fired the bullets again, but this time the situation was no different from the last time. A slightly more advanced non-commissioned officer saw it and said, use seastone to get the net. Net him. He will be doomed. Afterwards, the Marines immediately took out seastone's net gun and shot it at Shu Kang. In the end, they wrapped Shu Kang in seastone's net. HMPH, don't you guys know that I'm still a swordsman? Shu Kang just gently pulled out the shira from his hand, and seastone's net was cut off into sections. Chapter 152 Done. The tree realm is coming. For silver. The second. How is that possible? Sea stone is one of the hardest stones in the world. This guy's slash can easily cut through sea stone's net. It's incredible. Maybe the information is wrong. This guy is not a devil fruit person at all. This is just some special ability. Marine Sergeant immediately reacted, and then ordered his subordinates, since he is not afraid of sea stone bullets, then approach him, catch him. Anyway, he's just a blind man. The sergeant's words made these Marines suddenly realize. Yeah, he's blind, maybe it's just a coincidence that he resisted the attack just now. As long as we get on together, there's no way for him to break free. Let's go together. Immediately afterwards, countless Marines rushed up, and they rushed towards Shu Kang like a tide, trying to trap Shu Kang. However, although Shu Kang is blind, observation Haki has learned, and he can clearly perceive everyone's position. Come on, let me try my new ability. Shu Kang then began to dance in the crowd like a ghost. Everyone's attacks looked menacing, but in the end they couldn't touch Shu Kang's hair. Shu Kang didn't take the initiative to attack, he just used his flexible body to avoid all Marine's attacks. Soon, those Marines could not help but sigh again. No use. This guy seems to be able to guess our attack. Although he has no eyes, he seems to see better than those who have eyes. Our attacks never hit him. What the hell is going on? The Marines couldn't help but complain, and some older, knowledgeable people suddenly changed their faces and said, no way. Could it be that this pirate named Shu Kang has mastered that one? The Marines looked at these knowledgeable people with great confusion. It is said that many masters will have the necessary fighting skills: 3-color Haki, armament Haki, observation Haki, conqueror Haki. Armament can increase defense, conqueror is a king's qualification, and observation Haki is a super perception ability. It is said that a real observation Haki master can even predict the future. I'm afraid, this guy called Demon Shu Kang should be the pirate who mastered observation Haki. In fact, in Shu Kang's eyes, observation Haki is not a profound fighting skill. Marines in the first half of the Great Channel, some of them are still recruits, and they will naturally be afraid of this magical ability. When the army loses its courage, it is doomed to defeat. Shu Kang felt that he was completely familiar with observation Haki and no longer hid it. I won't kill you, but if you don't leave now, you will naturally be punished. Do you want to escape? Shu Kang asked bluntly. Shu Kang has no eyes now, and it looks quite scary in itself. Coupled with Shu Kang's name, called the Devil, there is a certain sense of shock. Many Marines were frightened, but their quality was still good, and some still did not escape. Shu Kang felt that everyone was still there, smiled, put his hands together and said, since you are not leaving, I will let you experience the power of my Devil Shu Kang. I hope you will increase my bounty after knowing my power and threat. Wooden, the tree world is coming. Yes, Shu Kang was really afraid of trouble, so he simply resorted to Mudun. Some of the previous experiences, coupled with some previous rewards, made Shu Kang fully capable of performing 100% powerful Wood-done ninjutsu at this moment. As a result, huge trees immediately grew on the surrounding ground. These trees also stretched out the vines at a very fast speed, and these vines immediately wrapped all the life in front of them. Of course, Shu Kang's wooden dungeon's power was not that small. Marines in front of them, the entire marine branch has been affected. The marine branch of Nuoda was instantly covered by lush jungle, and more than 90% of the people were bound by Shu Kang's arrival of the tree world. The moment the Marines saw the trees grow, they thought they had seen a ghost. Anyone who sees what is happening in front of them will feel like they are dreaming. However, what is in front of you is not a dream, but a fact. At this time, Shu Kang used the wooden dungeon to descend, and one move was enough to defeat all the Marines in the entire branch. At the same time, Shu Kang also discovered his companion. I feel it. The familiar atmosphere should be the same trick of Mudun. However, Shu Kang naturally wouldn't hurt his companions. This move only absorbed the physical strength of these Marines. Pirate, who are you? Why do you have such unreasonable abilities? The person who spoke was naturally Jonathan, the leader of the Marine branch. If you don't believe me, I won't say more. However, what I said is just some punishment. I will not kill you. After all, you still protect the justice of this world in some respects. However, I hope you can deeply understand my power and threat. Therefore, I also hope that you can report to Ma Linduan and increase the amount of my bounty and the bounty of our straw hats. That's it. Shu Kang also, no matter what you say, it doesn't matter. Shu Kang just got his friends to marry at the fastest speed, and then threw Mary outside the marine fortress. Your mates are still confused, and they didn't let you figure out the situation. What the hell happened just now? What the hell is that huge tree? Luffy asked. However, I was just very hungry, and I was about to eat something when I was caught. Luffy said regretfully. We've been very lucky. Although we don't know what happened just now, we can see that those vines helped us. Now, it's a good opportunity. Our sailing direction is also correct. Let's go now. Nami, I don't want to stay here for a moment. Hey, Shu Kang. Shu Kang, is you. What happened to your eyes? Usopp noticed Shu Kang's eyes and asked immediately. Chopper, come and see Shu Kang. Robin said with great concern. Chopper turned pale in shock, and immediately walked towards Shu Kang. Shu Kang shook his head and said, the price of using my strange abilities is temporary blindness. Chopper should be helpless. Now that I have new eyes transplanted, it should take only a month for me to recover, so, I'm fine, let's get out of here quickly. Okay, then I'll cook first. Sanji returned to the kitchen. Don't force it. Zoro looked at Shu Kang and said. No. Shu Kang looked at Zoro and replied. Chapter 153 _ The Pursuit of the Sea Monkey, Silver Ticket. Ellipsis. The third. Are you sure you can't see? Zoro asked. Yes, but I have mastered the heart network, so I can feel everyone, so you don't need to worry about me. After Shu Kang finished speaking, Luffy didn't know what was going on, so he attacked himself. However, the strength of the attack was not large. Obviously, Luffy was just trying to see if Shu Kang was bragging. However, Shu Kang dodged easily and appeared behind Luffy the next second. Luffy, don't be so boring, okay. I really can't see it, but I have really grasped the net. After Shu Kang finished speaking, Luffy instantly became excited. Not only Luffy, but everyone else got excited too. Can everyone learn the ability of Shinwang? Enel was able to probe the entire country through the heart net released by himself through Guro Guro no Mi, Rumble Rumble Fruit. Shu Kang, how did you master it? Robin and others naturally liked the heart net very much. Interested. Shu Kang knew that everyone wanted to learn, including Chopper. Then I briefly introduced the two kinds of haki, observation haki armament. Didn't you say there is another kind of haki? Usopp asked. Yeah, Conqueror haki. Conqueror haki is not something that can be learned after learning, it is a natural temperament that only one person in a million people has. However, in the second half of the Great Waterway, Conqueror haki has to have this. It is said that it is like a Crucian carp crossing the river. The possession of the strongest conqueror will be called One Piece, King of Pirates. Shu Kang said. Roger. Everyone showed expressions of envy and yearning, especially Luffy. However, now, the most recognized conqueror haki in the ocean is a guy named Shanks. Luffy, are you familiar with him? Shu Kang also asked Luffy with a smile. Of course. We made an appointment. Luffy took off his hat, looked at his hat, and seemed to remember the past. Everyone chatted, and finally, Shu Kang told everyone about the cultivation method of observation haki. Whether it is observation haki or armament, cultivation cannot be accomplished overnight. Everyone studied for a long time, but nothing was learned. Shu Kang couldn't do anything, but it didn't matter, everyone didn't need him as much as observation haki. After all, he was temporarily blind. Afterwards, Mary sailed towards the correct route. Since Mary was really hit by all kinds of impacts, Shu King already had a bad premonition. However, Usopp is still very serious about repairing Mary. Seeing this situation, Shu King had nothing to do, so he started to repair Mary. Shu King knew that Mary's lifespan was coming to an end, and it was estimated that after arriving in the water capital, he should be scrapped. That kind of feeling is something that others can't understand. I don't know how long it took to finally reach a new sea area. From the beginning, the waves of the sea have been a little expensive, left rudder. Nami said. As ordered, Miss Nami. Sanji naturally acted as a pawn and went to take the helm. Soon, everyone found the problem. The sea behind turned out waves that were several times higher than Mary's height. If this wave hit, Mary would definitely fall apart. Going at full speed, Nami said. There seems to be something in the waves. It looks like a sea monkey. Everyone desperately tried their best to save Mary from death in the end. Soon, the sky was already bright, and everyone was sitting on the deck weakly. It's generally settled down, Sanji said. Still can't take it lightly, Zoro said. At this moment, Usopp was holding the binoculars and suddenly said, "Emergency report, urgent report. The ship was found at 12 o'clock. What? The enemy," Luffy said. At times like this, Chopper said. It's alright, if the enemy is just killing him. I'm just afraid that Mary won't be able to make it that far. Shu King said. No, I don't know what kind of ship it was. It had no sails and no flags, Usopp said. What? Nothing hangs. But why the hell is driving on the ocean? Luffy looked happy. Who knows? And there are very few crew on board, and they are all listless, and they don't feel a trace of anger at all. As soon as Usopp's voice fell, the waves immediately became unusual again. Run away. It's a sea monkey. No way. Why is it here again? Did you catch up? No, there is no wind now. Lower the sails. Row instead. Row. Everyone was desperately rowing the boat at this moment, and the whole boat immediately fled at a very fast speed. Then Mary easily caught up with the listless boat just now. Hey, I said you guys. Run away. There are sea monkeys. Luffy yelled. What? There's a boat. It's a pirate boat. Brothers, row the boat. There's an enemy boat. These listless people immediately came to their senses. Wait a minute, the big waves are coming. We should escape first. That'll let the ship escape. Get the cannons ready. Who are you ordering, you bastard? Shu King was a little speechless to the other party. Obviously at such a critical juncture, the other party's crew members were still quarreling, which was difficult to understand. What a mess this ship is, Luffy commented. They still want to snatch our treasures. They are enemies, don't pay attention to them. Sanji said. Then the sea monkey had come to the front of the big ship, and finally swallowed it, and the ship sank to the bottom of the sea. Luffy and the others were still rowing desperately, and after a while, they finally escaped the pursuit of the waves. One wave has not settled, and another wave has risen. It's enough, and finally calmed down. Sanji was also a little tired. I think those waves are the pranks of those sea monkeys, but now the humidity and temperature have stabilized, I don't know if they have entered the climate waters of the next island. Nami said. It should be, don't forget that we are on the Great Channel. Shu King said. Hey, Robin, can you see anything? Usopp was exhausted. Can you see the island all the time? Robin said. Such things should have been said earlier. Luffy and Usopp couldn't help but complain. He's really a different person. Listen up, when you see the island, you should shout like this, you come. Usopp handed it to Luffy. Wow, brothers, found the island. Yeah. Luffy also played a bit exaggerated. Robin simply chose to ignore. It's so foggy around here. Fog. It feels dangerous. Chopper, you go and see the situation ahead. Nami ordered. But don't you think the ship just now was strange? No navigator, no captain, no flag, no sail, no drive. Usopp asked. Chapter 154 _ Davy Tournament. First change. They say they are a pirate group, but they don't seem to be formed at all, Usopp said. It was during a naval battle, didn't you lose? Then the captain died and was robbed of a lot of things. Zoro also guessed randomly. No, I don't think that's the case. I have looked at the ship carefully, and there is no trace of battle at all. For pirates, life is as important as life, and they don't have any. Usopp also felt that something was wrong. Then they're not pirates, there's nothing suspicious. Sanji smoked a cigarette and didn't seem to take the ship just now. But no matter how I look at them, I think they are pirates. I always have a bad feeling. Usopp said worriedly. You've always had a bad hunch, haven't you? Is there a town on the island? If there is a shipyard, it would be great. Luffy was completely immersed in the joy of landing on the island. Luffy, you can't log in right away, Nami said. Will there be excellent ship repairers to join us? Chopper also said beamingly. Close to shore, ready to drop anchor. Luffy yelled. Shukang felt that there seemed to be something around him. Although he lost his eyes, through observation haki, Shukang could feel that there should be countless fog rising around him. Hey, everyone listen to me. At this moment, Usopp suddenly knelt on the boat. Sanji said immediately, Chopper, Usopp has a disease that makes him unable to land on the island. That can't be cured. Chopper and Sanji had already dismantled Usopp. Although everyone was joking, Shukang always felt that something was not right. After all, the ship just now was indeed a little weird. How could it be? Could it be that it has reached the Devil's Triangle Sea? No, then it is possible to arrive at the capital of water. Shukang was also a little unsure of what everyone was going to face next. As a result, after the fog dissipated, everyone found that there was nothing on the island in front of them. Some have only a grassland, and some scattered trees, and these trees are not the kind of tall trees. What's going on in this place? It's weird. The endless prairie, Luffy said. What? This ghost place is really unfeeling. Sanji became very disappointed. Is this place unoccupied? Robin guessed. Well, Shukang knows the name of this island, but he's still not sure yet. Come on, Usopp. Luffy and Chopper jumped onto the grass and started rolling. That group of guys is really enough, they are so presumptuous in a place they don't know. Nami said. Just looking at this, there's no danger, right? Zoro thought nothing. The three of them were lying on the grass very comfortably, and then they saw something very incredible. In front of him, a huge bear appeared, and the bear was walking on two legs. Luffy didn't even think about it and jumped onto the man's back. How can there be such a soft person in the world? It's a bear, Chopper said. Then Usopp also climbed onto the bear, and then, Luffy stretched out his long arms and ate the surrounding fruits. Wow, look, the trees around here are so tall. Look, isn't that a house? Yes, let's go and have a look. When the three of them planned to go to the house to have a look, they saw some very strange creatures. These creatures were either very tall or very long. Soon, the three disappeared. And the surrounding fog is getting thicker and thicker. Where did these three guys go? Nami asked. Was rolling around here just now, Zoro said. Let's get off the boat too, maybe we can find something to eat. Sanji said. Hey, Miss Robin, we're going to land. Sanji said. Okay, Robin responded. Shukang also felt that something was wrong, but he couldn't see anything. Although he could use observation haki, what observation haki could perceive was still limited. Let's go, let's get off the boat together. Shukang also got off the boat together. At this moment, a sound suddenly came to mind around him. Two large chains completely blocked Mary's way out. What does that ship want to do? Nami said cautiously. This ship is the one. What do you want? Zoro asked. Come down if you want to fight. Sanji also said. Shukang thought that what should come is coming. Sure enough, a voice came from the other side. We are foxy pirates. Don't worry, we're here to fight you. The other party's words made everyone very confused. However, Shu King probably also understood the plot of this period. The captain of Foxy Pirates, Foxy, seems to be a person with a slow light. In the anime, he had a duel with the Straw Hats and his party, which is not a particularly important plot. Davy Tournament. I don't know if you have heard of it. Asked the person on the other boat. Davy Tournament. Nami looked blank. That's right. When both captains agree to a duel, the battle begins, and now our captain is challenging your captain, Monkey D. Luffy. Challenge. What are you talking about in your dreams? Didn't I say it? If you want to fight, just come to us. Zoro said. Green Algae Head, you don't know, this is not a fight, the Davy Tournament is a competition between pirates. Sanji seems to know something about it. Yes, I heard that there is an island called Pirate Paradise somewhere in the sea. This competition was born on that pirate island before. In order to obtain better crew members, pirates rob each other's partners in this way. Robin also explained. Pirates snatch pirates. Nami couldn't believe it. I don't even know about this kind of thing, and I still say I'm a big pirate. The so-called competition for hegemony is a big battle for people. After the game, the winner can choose anyone from the opponent's crew. The selected crew members will soon become the loyal subordinates of the new captain, and they will swear to David of the Deep Sea. Said the other crew members. If I lose, will my partner be taken away? Nami confirmed again. That's right. If the opponent doesn't have the desired crew, then the victor can also deprive the ship of life, the symbol on the pirate flag. The opponent's person explained. In other words, the stakes are partners and honor. Sanji said, if you win, you will increase your combat effectiveness, otherwise, you will pay a heavy price if you lose. It's a ruthless game. That strange, incomplete ship we encountered at sea just now. It had neither flag nor sail. Yes, it must have been lost to the opponent. Only then did Shu King understand everything. So that's the case, you have encountered the Tooth Frog Pirate's ship. Quote. Chapter 155_Foxy. The second. That ship has fallen victim to the race just now, and lo and behold. This is our new companion. The pirates of Foxy Pirates then moved to the side, and then invited their new partners out. Their new partner said with a very proud look, to tell you the truth, I am the original captain of that ship. I am the original ship doctor. I am a former navigator. I am the original ship repairer. 5 rounds of 3 rounds were played, and all of them were lost. The 14 crew members and the pirate flag were all confiscated by us. To absorb so many people all at once can be said to be a merger. That's right. The members of Foxy Pirates are very proud. This makes Zoro and others sound very strange. What's there to be proud of when they abandoned their companions? Idiots. Zoro scolded. I can't stand it, now that ship is buried at the bottom of the sea. Sanji said. Unexpectedly, the captain of the original ship said, Humph. So what? Tell them this is playing the piano to a cow. Listen, we won't accept this kind of stupid competition. Nami said. Idiot, this kind of thing is not decided by the crew. Only the captain can decide whether to accept it or not. The pirates on the opposite side shouted. No matter how you say or make trouble, as long as the captain nods, all of you will be participants in the game. Said the opponent. However, we have 2 captains here. In other words, both captains must agree. Name was a smart person, and she immediately looked at Shu King. What? Why does a ship have 2 captains? What's the matter? Isn't your captain Monkey D. Luffy? What you said should be the devil Shu King, right? He seems to be just a deputy captain, right? The people on the boat became suspicious. Deputy captain. We just say he is the deputy captain. In fact, he usually makes major decisions. Besides, haven't you read his reward? After Nami said these words, she had nothing to say about convenience. This is an unwritten rule in the pirate world. If you run away, you will be ridiculed by the world. Sanji said. Smiling is scorning, but it's just a layer of skin. It's not that Nami hasn't done bad things before, so it doesn't matter. It's better to die than to be embarrassed, Zoro said coolly. I think so too, Sanji agreed. What are you doing? Nami felt that Sanji and Zoro's brains were amused. Robin also said at this time, give it up, men are such creatures. Really, Shu Kang, how do you decide? Nami could only pin her hopes on Shu Kang, after all she had been supporting Shu Kang before. I can't tell you this, and we won't lose, so I think it's up to everyone to participate or not. Why don't you ask Luffy? Shu Kang naturally shied away from this matter, but Shu Kang didn't like to take the blame. Really, I had to get rid of Luffy, Nami said. Other party laughed and said, it's useless, don't struggle. The captains of both sides fired 2 shots in the air at the same time, which is the signal for war. You should honestly accept your fate. Nami also tried to find Luffy, but on the way, she heard the sound of gunshots in the air. Nami's whole person became bad. Oops, no way. Look, that guy accepted. Sanji had expected such a result. Exactly what I want. Zoro was looking forward instead. It seems quite interesting. Robin felt very exciting. In short, I will never lose. Shu Kang didn't say much. He even defeated the magic version of Enel, let alone Foxy Pirates. The Foxy Pirates then cheered as if they had won the game. The other party has accepted the challenge. Then, the scene was a little different from what was expected. There were many pirates on the other side of the pirate group, but they did not attack aggressively, but were enthusiastic and very friendly. They went to great lengths to directly set up a venue for the competition. Next to the competition venue, there are many delicious food. For example, grilled sausages or something, in short, very lively. A lot of people from Foxy Pirates started to open up betting. In short, everyone was very excited about this matter. As the captain, Shu Kang naturally came to the venue of the competition. Afterwards, there was a female host who was also a part of Foxy Pirates. There were many people in the audience booing and blowing the hooligan whistle. On the stage sat Shu Kang, Luffy, and a very strange-looking man with a long nose with a split head. This person is naturally the captain of Foxy Pirates, Foxy. Porch little beauty, the people in the audience shouted. However, the host automatically ignored the underground noise and started announcing the rules. From now on, declare the 3 major treaties that the losing party will abide by. Article 1, personnel, emblems, etc., taken away in the Battle of Davy are considered spoils of the Battle of Davy. Article 2, those chosen by the victorious party must immediately swear allegiance to the new master. Article 3, the signs that have been taken away can no longer be hung. Those who do not comply with the above 3 rules will be consecrated to Davy Jones's cell as a pirate's shame. Are you willing to swear? I do. I do. Both Foxy and Luffy said I would, while Shu Kang said, you are the captain of the Straw Hat, and I am just a co-captain. Since you have already made up your mind, let's do what you want. Shu Kang even went through a cutscene, but in the end he still agreed to the game. The audience was very lively, and Luffy then ate the noodles in big mouthfuls. Okay, Straw Hat Boy, then I'll let you choose. 1 coin, 2 coins, 3 coins, choose what you like. Foxy said. What do you mean? Luffy didn't quite understand. It's the number of rounds. 1 round, 2 rounds or 3 rounds. The boss means you can choose how many games to play, said the hostess just now. The more games the better, of course. Luffy was interrupted by Nami before he finished speaking. Nami and Usopp both stretched out a finger, but the Toll didn't understand, so they talked for 3 rounds. Are you ready, Straw Hat? Foxy asked. The war is on, Foxy said excitedly. It turned out that Luffy was more excited than him. Okay, the fight is about to begin. After Luffy stepped off the stage, Nami and Usopp gave him a hard lesson. You're doing really well, Luffy, Nami scolded. Wouldn't it be nice to win? Luffy said very innocently. Hey, write the order of appearance of your personnel on it. The other party handed a piece of paper to Luffy and the others. Chapter 156 _ Everyone's Kayak. The third. Write the order of appearance of your personnel on it, and then hand it over to our person in charge. One person can only play in 2 games. Once the order of appearance is decided, it cannot be changed. The other person said. Everyone then formed a circle, paying attention to the rules of the game. The competition is rowing, ball skills and team battles, Zoro read. I see, there is no limit to the number of participants in rowing, 3 for ball skills and 5 for team competition. Sanji said. Great, I'm going to participate in all 3 games. Luffy said excitedly, not listening to what they said before. As a rule, you can't play 3 times. Robin said. At this time, Nami and Usopp both said in despair, what should I do? What if I lose? They must be thinking of Captain Usopp. No, it must be me, I look so cute. Shu King was very speechless and said, the 2 of them feel too good about themselves. What should I do? How will this list of contestants be arranged? Everyone has their own ideas. Leave the ball skills and team battles to me, Shu King said. Others, Shu King can't control it either. Soon, the Straw Hats roster was handed in. Another host announced the entrance. I'm announcing the entrance now. The Straw Hats first. Round 1, Kayaks, entrance, everyone except co-captain Shu King. Second round, Roronoa Zoro, Sanji. Demon Shu King. Third round, roller skating chase, contestants, Monkey D. Luffy, Majin Shu King, Nami, Usopp, Robin. Foxy was very satisfied watching the Straw Hats get these people and was looking forward to it. At this time, he was already thinking about who to choose as his partner. Quiet and quiet. Let everyone wait for a long time. The winner is the banquet, the loser is the bottom of the sea, and the ruthless battle for David's hegemony. The host will be me, the captain of the Foxy Pirates banquet, relying on Mimis to serve as the host. First round, round the island kayaking. The host began to liven up the atmosphere again. How to split up? Robin asked. Because those who have the ability to fruit have to exist, let's divide them into groups of 3 and groups of 4. Everyone discussed. The dinghy used in canoeing can only be made from 2 wood pulp and 3 empty barrels. If other materials are used, the competition will be disqualified immediately. It depends on the skill of the boatman. If there is no empty barrel, a team must come here to pick it up. One team is free, said the host. I'm afraid it's impossible to make a small boat for 4 people. Robin looked at the situation and said. Okay, then, let's divide into 3 groups. As for the staff, Sanji then started to think. Whether Luffy or Zoro, he started making his own boat. Shu King couldn't see anything, so he couldn't help at this time. The host then said, while everyone is making the boat, let me introduce the rules of the game to you. The route is around this long roundabout. This route looks easy, but it is actually extremely difficult to navigate. Once it sinks, then this group is out. Quote. In addition, guns, cannons, bombs, daggers and other weapons are not limited to use. Those who want to quit halfway out of fear are shameful pirates. While the host was talking, Usopp, who had the most potential as a boatman among the Straw Hat group, had already completed his own boat. It's almost game time, are you ready? The host asked. Wow, now that the starting lineup has been determined, let's announce it according to the popularity. The host introduced naturally the opposite contestants. First of all, the most popular, and that is our idol, Miss Porch, the powerful Foxy team. Leading the team is Sailfish and Human Cavity and Star Shark Munda. The boat is the cute little train. The other party was clearly riding a fish, which was considered cheating in Nami's eyes. Instead, the other party quibble, there is no rule that fish can't play. There was nothing Nami could do. At this time, no one could stop the game. Host continued to introduce. Oh, what a surprise. It's actually a trio of Navigator Nami, Sniper Usopp and Archaeologist Robin from the Straw Hats. Dingy was the tail tiger. Shu-Kang could think of the reasons for the popularity of this group with his heels. Nami and Robin have good looks. It won't sink, right? Nami asked worriedly as she stepped on the boat's board. Hey, I'm not a boat builder, but I'm better than those, right? Usopp looked at the others. Others naturally refer to Luffy, Sanji, and Chopper and Zoro. This is not a boat, this is a piece of wood. Sanji was also very speechless. Ha ha ha, don't get discouraged, don't get discouraged. Luffy smiled. Chopper, on the other hand, rides a pedal boat with Zoro. Does it need to be like this all the time? Zoro asked. Yeah, it's going to be a quick going, Chopper said. Nami was speechless and complained, it's already a miracle that we can float. If the three of us don't work hard, the game will be lost. Just when Nami was a little desperate, the host then said, next is the third most popular, the Beauty Prayer. This is a special boat for the beauty of the beauties. Fourth is the Gurren Crab. The fifth most popular is the Jelly King No. 1 and the Jelly King No. 2. Quote. The seventh is to love the banquet and get drunk. The eighth is a special number. Luffy then protested, wait a minute. Why didn't our ship count? Oh, let me take a look. Chopper, the ship doctor, Zoro, the swordsman, is the third most popular. Then, a board number, right after that. What do you mean? Luffy didn't understand. It's the second to last. Sanji explained. What? Is there anything worse than Luffy's ship? Usopp was stunned. In that case, by the way, the last one in popularity is the giant boat, the cask carrier. After the host's voice fell, the barrel aircraft carrier also appeared directly. Because the reminder was too large, the paddle could not touch the water at all, which made everyone very confused. How can I make the boat move? Everyone was very curious. Ha ha ha, it seems that you have noticed. That's right. The oars of this boat can't reach the surface of the water, and there is a lot of seawater stored in the boat. It's made of 3 giant barrels. It's not against the rules at all. The person who spoke was obviously an idiot, and the others ignored it. Although Shu-Kang couldn't see it, he also heard this series of information. Shu-Kang could only cheer for them. After all, he participated in the next 2 games as the main force. I'll report live for everyone. The host sat on the bird, and then flew into the air. A game is about to start. Chapter 157 _ start the game. First change. Anyway, I will win in the competition. Nami said with determination. It is said that it is also possible to sink an opponent. Porch said, gee, say something rude. It's people's freedom to say what you love, Miss Porch, and in 3 minutes we'll sink it. The man who spoke was full of confidence. I'm already excited. It was Chopper who spoke. Everyone knew that this game was impossible to lose, so he was full of confidence and fighting spirit. Is this boat really capable of racing? Zoro was considering a very real question. Hey, I said Usopp, if anything happens to the ladies, I will kill you. Sanji warned, because there is no rule not to use any weapons in this game, so Sanji warned Usopp. Don't worry, I'll win. Luffy was still optimist. The leader of the Foxy Pirates, Foxy stood on the cliff and said, idiot. We've never lost a proper game. Can this match last 5 minutes? No. Foxy has long been full of confidence, they can be said to be invincible. Immediately afterwards, the host rode a big bird into the air and said to the audience, this is a record compass to prevent getting lost. Then throw that thing to the players. Will you get lost? Nami also felt a little strange. Zoro also took the so-called compass with a blank face. Be careful, Jinlian doesn't get too far from the island. The host reminded. Luffy asked very puzzled, why? Why do we have to make a special detour? We went straight to the end of Jinfa along the shore. This distance is the shortest. Nami said. But will things go so well? It's definitely not that simple. Look, Don't you think it's strange that they all carefully point the bow to the outside line? Usopp's observation was still very careful, and in a very short time, some clues have been found. However, at this moment, there is no time for everyone to waste. Okay, ready. The host has begun to announce the start of the game. Nami asked, very puzzled. You said we can't go. Why? Don't ask. Brothers, you must run to the outside of the island after you start. Usopp reminded. Why? Luffy still didn't understand the situation. Immediately afterwards, the host raised his arms high, and then, the game began. After the start of the game, all the contestants quickly moved forward with all their might. Leave, Usopp said desperately. You said it. Why is that? Even now, Nami still didn't quite understand why she ran to the outside. Let me tell you why this boat exists. The person who spoke was the owner of the very large barrel boat. He drained all the excess water on the boat, and then, countless buckets floated along the sea to the side of everyone's boats. What? It's the enemy's attack. Is it a step late? Usopp said nervously. What is this? A trap. Nami touched the pulp lightly, and then, a terrible thing happened. Don't touch it. Usopp didn't stop him at all. Immediately afterwards, there was a huge explosion in the barrel. Yes, the boat that Usopp, Robin, and Nami were riding in was blown up into the sky. Although Shu Kang couldn't see it, he probably knew what happened. Since you know it's the other party's trick, you still want to touch it. Really, take it lightly. Shu Kang couldn't help but complain about his teammates. Wow, the #1 killer of the barrel carrier. The barrel bomb attack. The host also commented. Porch quickly surpassed the crowd, and then shouted, next time, I will sunk you guys unceremoniously. I'm looking forward to that moment. And a wooden barrel floated next to Luffy. Luffy, who had no brains, planned to detonate all the surrounding wooden barrels. Of course, this approach was stopped by the companions before it even started. If it goes on like this, it will cause a big explosion. But, won't we be able to move like this? Luffy said, and he was quite helpless. Just blow them away without touching them, right? Luffy, give me that oar. Zoro offered to fight at this time. Luffy obediently gave Zoro the paddle. Zoro looked very serious and startled Chopper. What do you want to do, Zoro? Chopper asked. You can just watch. Zoro didn't explain much, just turned his oar with one hand. After the oar turned, it turned into a propeller, creating a lot of wind. The large amount of wind quickly blew those wooden barrels aside. Zoro blew all the barrels back very easily, and in the end, all the barrels returned to the barrel aircraft carrier, and the ship was completely self-inflicted. Miss Nami, Miss Robin, hurry up and grab the boat. Take advantage of this wave. Sanji reminded immediately. Can you still take advantage of it? Everyone couldn't help but complain. After all, the power of the explosion was so great that all ships were affected. Went forward quickly. Good or bad? Sanji was very worried that the boat would fall apart because of this. After all, Luffy's shipbuilding skills were very nice. All the contestants were affected by this huge wave, and the host immediately explained, the Straw Hat Corps caught up with the vanguard in one breath. It's amazing 1 inch. It's not good. It's not. You will be overtaken if you go on like this. Hurry up and leave Munda. I'll ask you to take cover. Porch said anxiously. The waves finally stopped, and everyone's speed finally calmed down. It was impacted, and the raft was a little damaged, Sanji said. Oops. That's fun. Let's make a big wave. Luffy also looked smug, not worried about the game at all. Idiot. If you make it again, this wooden raft will definitely sink. Sanji couldn't help but complain. Speaking of which, Miss Nami. They are there. Sanji saw Robin and the others when a boat appeared in front of him, and the 3 people on the boat said, Welcome. Welcome. A boat came from behind, and the boat was full of girls, and Sanji's eyes lit up instantly. What's wrong? Chopper and Zoro were also stopped. No one knew what the other wanted to do. Calm down, it's alright, come on. It's fried tofu and fox udon, free. The other party took out delicious food to tempt everyone. The key is that Luffy was instantly tempted. Chapter 158 _ The status of the competition, silver. The second. Really, thank you so much. It looks delicious. Luffy looked at the food, his eyes were completely green, and he was drooling a lot, and he was obviously hooked. And Sanji was completely fascinated by these girls, unable to extricate himself. We really want a chef like you to come to our ship. The girls said one after another. These eyebrows are so cute. Yeah, do I want to lose this game? Sanji has been completely conquered by others. Chopper was a little speechless, and the other party also said, Master Fur, are you tired from the hard work just now? Who's the fur? Chopper said angrily. Don't be angry, this is the best time to eat this. The other party then took out the apple candy, and then Chopper's eyes were as bright as Luffy's. What's this, sweet? Chopper asked with great interest. Hey, there's alcohol here, you're welcome, just drink it. Of course, the other party wouldn't miss Zoro. Knowing that Zoro was still drinking, he did everything possible to tempt him with alcohol. It can be said that Luffy, Chopper, Sanji and Zoro have completely conquered the defense line in their hearts. Appeared. The tricks of the drunkard and the beauty prayer. Stop the going banquet. At this time, the host also announced the current situation to the audience. Shu Kang was very speechless. If it were him, he really didn't know what he needed most, women or food. It seems that there is no way to interfere with his own heart. Shu Kang despised those vulgar fans. And the point is, now that he has lost his eyes and can't see anything, it is naturally not easy for him to be tempted by external things. The whole Straw Hat gang has been killed. After the host announced, Nami also found out, and the whole person was furious. Bastard, come back to the game soon. Nami couldn't help cursing. Are you free to care about others? It was Miss Porch who spoke. Just think about yourself first. Cavity, let them see Fishman karate, Porch said. Yes, slash at the sea. The Fishman slashed over just like that, and the boat that Usopp, Nami, Robin and the three of them were riding in was crippled by the opponent in an instant. Sanji, who was originally addicted to the gentle town, found that Nami Robin was attacked, and immediately said, Luffy. We're going to save Miss Nami and the others. Chopper. Gone. Zoro also realized that something was wrong. Then the Straw Hats came back again and drove in the direction of Nami and Robin. The scheme of the drunkard and the prayer of the beauty thus failed. Death. Flame Star. At this time, Usopp was desperately attacking the Fishman. If he didn't stop the Fishman, it might not be long before the boat was overturned by him. At that time, there will be no need to compete at all, because the loss is certain. At this time, Robin shot. 8 round flowers bloom. Immediately afterwards, Fishman's body was covered with arms. Backflip. After Robin finished speaking, Fishman, who was called Karbati, was thrown into the sea. Usopp and Nami just pulled back a game. Great. Now, Usopp, jump into the water and push the boat, Nami said. Do you want to wear me out? Usopp couldn't help but complained. A new change has taken place in the arena, and the host immediately commented. The cute little truck is in the lead now, the second is the barrel tiger, and the third is the crab Gurren, who is not known when it will be resurrected. Quote. It's almost time to show our true skills, right, Hamburger? Foxy asked the entourage beside him at this time. Is it about to start? It's finally about to start. Boss. The man called the Hamburger was very excited. At this moment, Sanji was desperately rowing the boat and said, Miss Nami, Miss Robin, let's save you now. Sanji looked very desperate. At this moment, Luffy looked at the board of the boat and said, I suddenly had a good idea. Sanji, pass that to me. Luffy said. Immediately afterwards, I don't know what happened, the speed of a board number is incredible. Wait for me, Miss Nami, Miss Robin, Sanji shouted. At this time, Chopper was stomping on plainly. Zoro asked, is it better to paddle faster? But the pulp is used for this. Chopper glanced at the handrail in front of him. At this moment, a small boat came out of nowhere and crashed into Chopper and Zoro's boat. With a knife in his hand, Zoro cut them off from their intrigue. Don't say hello, Zoro asked, standing on their boat. Sorry, that's how we behave, the other said. If that's the case, then I'm welcome. Zoro then said directly, Bull Needle. Immediately afterwards, the two of them were cut directly, and Zoro then jumped into the water. Damn, come and be buried with you too. The other party rushed towards Chopper's boat at the last moment when the boat was about to be scrapped. Chopper, run, Zoro yelled anxiously. Boom, Chopper didn't have time, and finally the boat was hit. At this time, the host also announced the situation. Rickshaw number, Jelly King number 1 and Jelly King number 2 perished together, regrettably out. Since Chopper is a fruit power user, he can't touch the sea water, so Zoro doesn't care about that much and saves Chopper. Chopper burst into tears and said, Zoro, the boat was. They're out. It's up to us. Nami was hit, but Nami suddenly thought of something because of it. Right, Usopp, Bay. Nami suddenly remembered the amazing things she had discovered on Sky Island before. Usopp also reacted, and then put Fung Bei on his own boat. Immediately afterwards, the boat blew up. However, the power of Fung Bei is too small, and the speed of the whole boat is still surprisingly slow. It's not fast yet, Nami complained. I used the wind shell in the marine fortress, haven't the wind been stored yet? Usopp also felt that his head was quite big. Don't we have a jellyfish? Nami asked. How could there be such a thing? Usopp said. Why don't you use a shock shell? Robin suggested. That thing was on Mary, Usopp said. What are you doing? Are you doubting me? Why am I lying? This concerns my friends. Usopp looked at Robin and immediately explained. I didn't say anything. Robin was also very calm. Yes, this is the crux of the problem. If they lose this game, they must want to take me away, because I'm cute, this kind of thing must not happen. Nami also began to pray. No such thing. Row quickly. Row quickly. Usopp pulled Nami back to reality. Chapter 159 during the game. The third. Nami was very angry because of Usopp's words, and directly beat Usopp. Robin, what are you doing? Are you reading now? Nami asked, looking at Robin. I'm rowing. Robin turned out to use his devil fruit's ability to row fast. Although you are the one who is rowing, you should be able to row decently. Yeah, Robin, that's what happens if you don't work hard. Usopp said weakly. Well, I'll try to get it. Robin responded. At this point, Porch could already feel victory beckoning to him. Let's get to the end like this, or sink them all in one go. Porch asked. Although it's not a bad thing to rush to the finish line in a leisurely manner, I still want to seek revenge from the woman I got before, otherwise, even if I win, it's hard to get rid of the hatred in my heart. Said the fish man. At this time, the host continued to explain. The game has entered a high tide. The first is still the cute pickup truck, followed by the barrel tiger, and the third is the crab Gurren. Whoops. Crab Gurren gone. Whoops. It's there. Crab Gurren has been destroyed, and the crew members complained, how can that guy's leg skills be so good? What? The crab Gurren has been shattered and cannot sail. When was it? That was. This trick is really powerful. The host was also shocked. Luffy got the boat, pushing Robin, Usopp, Nami and others behind him to get the boat. Both boats surpassed the first-ranked cute pickup truck at a very fast speed. Porch was also shocked and said, how is it possible? That kind of speed. I'm out of strength. Luffy is already a little tired at this time. It turned out that he was holding 2 wooden boards, and then in the sea, with his rubber ability, he turned quickly, just like a propeller. It's been soaking in the sea for too long. Robin naturally understood the weakness of those with fruit abilities. Hurry up. If you don't hurry, you will be able to draw, all the hard work just now will be in vain. At this time, Usopp also said anxiously. I won't lose to you. The opponent's boat rushed over at a very fast speed, and quickly overtook their two boats. After all, Luffy was exhausted by this time. Oops. It's hard to get past them, Nami said. For a while, I will never let you close again. Fishman's arm strength is 10 times that of ordinary people, so the speed of the opponent's boat is fast, which is also a normal thing. However, Luffy also kept an eye on it. He grabbed their boat with his long arms, and used their boat to move his boat. It's despicable and shameless. The other's fishman noticed this, then raised the big knife in his hand, and chopped it down. There was no other way. Luffy had no choice but to take his hand back, but the opponent's fishman fell into the sea weightless instead. That guy. Luffy, do it again. Nami said. But at this time Luffy had completely lost his strength and collapsed. I don't think this guy is useful for the time being, Sanji said. Anyway, row forward, Usopp said. If the distance is widened again, it will be difficult to handle. That's right, let's row fast. Nami also agreed. However, Porch has no intention of leisurely victory. It's better to sink you guys. It's too late for 2K. Chapter 160_Nami's nautical talent. For silver. First change. Of course, Porch hadn't made any moves yet. At this time, the host had seen the new changes coming to the game, so he explained to everyone again. In front of you are the difficulties of the race road, the long coral reef area, and the long headland. There may be a long whirlpool waiting for you there. How should you do your homework for these difficulties? After Shu Kang heard the host's words, he couldn't help sweating for his teammates. What would his teammates rely on in the end to pass? Now Shu Kang is indeed not very clear. At this moment, Shu Kang heard the host's voice again. That is. Suddenly a human figure appeared on the island. Riding on a four-legged sprinter hamburger. It is, yes, a genius of sabotage who never allows fair play to happen, our infamous boss, Foxy the Silver Fox. The host's introduction to his boss was naturally full of all kinds of compliments. However, this would never be allowed to happen in a fair competition. In the eyes of Shu Kang and others, it would definitely be a slot. This guy, I'm really embarrassed. He can even say such a thing, and he still feels very proud. It seems that some people are very shameless. Shu Kang also thought to himself. That guy. After Nami saw Foxy, she knew that Foxy definitely had a bad idea again, because Foxy's expression had changed a bit. I've got a bad idea, Foxy said boldly. At this time, the host continued to convey the message of the arena. Ahead into the long coral zone, Porch's lovely pickup truck is in the lead, followed by the Straw Hat Pair's Bucket Tiger, and a board number. What a great reef. It's like Chopper's horn, Luffy said. At this time, Sanji also desperately took a kayak. And Robin and others in front have stopped. What's the matter with the reef so long? No matter how long it is, will it not stick out of the sea? Look, they caused strange currents, so don't be too reckless. At this time, Nami saw the whirlpool in the coral reef. As a navigator, she is naturally very sensitive to the dynamics of the sea. At the time, she didn't intend to act rashly. Hate, the game is still here and there is no winner. Munda, it's over to you. Naturally, the speakers were Fishman and Porch. Their boats are now moving faster towards the long reef zone. Waiting for an opportunity on land, ready to interfere at any time, our boss, the Silver Fox Foxy, what tricks will he come up with? The host also tried his best to mobilize everyone's interest. Kill them, boss. It's only a matter of time. Shu Kang heard many people shouting and cheering for their boss. Since it's a match between pirates, shouldn't it be fair? Shu Kang already felt a little uncomfortable, thinking that since the other party wanted an unfair match, he must stop it. Sometimes being off the field can provide more important help. At this moment, the host said, "What's the matter?" The speed of the Straw Hat group has slowed down a bit. However, this is not because Foxy and the others understand their hands and feet, but because Nami doesn't feel that this moment is a good time to sprint. They are getting farther and farther away from us. Usopp said very worriedly. It's not the time yet. Don't worry, I didn't say it, is there still me? Nami had already made up her own plans. Not only did Nami not paddle in front of her, but she also told Sanji not to paddle. It can be said that the speed of the Straw Hat group has gradually stopped. The cute little train instantly distanced itself from the Straw Hats and broke into the long coral reef area, said the host. However, something bad happened to Porch et al. Wait, nasty, what's the matter? Soon, their cute little van was back at the entrance to the long reef area. At this time, the host said, "Not good. The cute little truck has encountered a reverse current. What the hell is going on?" "Hate, why is that?" Porch also felt a little weird. At this time, Nami said proudly to Isho, "As expected, I knew that the current was a little strange, pay attention. Start accelerating. Sanji is following us too." At this time, the speed of the Straw Hat group increased rapidly. Porch et al. Tried again and again. Host also explained again. The Straw Hat pair suddenly started to accelerate. The three boats entered the long coral reef area at almost the same time, and the Barrel Tiger and the board were not washed back. However, at this time, the Silver Fox Foxy appeared in front of everyone, and seemed to be holding a bow in his hand. "It's finally here. That man's diabolical interference attack," the host explained. Shu King also clearly felt that the other party used this bow to shoot a smoke bomb. The smoke bomb surrounded Nami and the others, obstructing their vision, so their movement speed was still affected. "A smoke bomb," Shu King muttered lightly. "I can't see the way. What the hell is this bastard trying to do?" "Because of the smoke, the Straw Hats can't move," the host explained. "Ha ha ha, the pure white battle, very successful." Silver Fox Foxy was very proud. At this time, Shu King had finished printing. Shu King directly used the Wind Escape ninjutsu. Wind Escape, great breakthrough. This trick is to blow a violent wind around, and the smoke of the smoke bomb is quickly blown away. It can be said that Shu King's off-field support also directly prevented the Straw Hats from falling so far behind Porch. Silver Fox Foxy is firstly shocked, and secondly, he is very curious about Shu King's abilities. Even if Shu King couldn't see anything, he could still feel the greed in the eyes of the Silver Fox Foxy. Yes, Foxy clearly wanted him. The Straw Hats and his party went through the smoke screen very smoothly. In fact, even if Shu King didn't help his companions, I believe they would definitely have other ways. The Straw Hat pair made it through the coral reefs one after another, and on the other hand, the cute little truck number was washed back again. Hearing what the host said, Shu King felt that this match was already guaranteed. As a very good navigator, Nami would never let her teammates lose the chain. "Why, the ship will move forward automatically." At this time, Usopp was also very confused. "This is the current labyrinth. The previous large whirlpool created a series of small whirlpools in this coral reef, and thus created strange currents.